station of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Houston.
Lance Berkman and the St. Louis Cardinals have played themselves back into contention for the National League wild card. The Astros look to play the spoiler. They host the final three-game series of the season. Astros and Cardinals are next on Fox Sports Houston. From Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas, Fox Sports Houston brings you Houston Astros baseball. Tonight is the first of a three-game series between the Astros and their longtime rivals, the St. Louis Cardinals. Good evening, everybody. Bill Brown and Jim DeShays. And for the Cardinals, it's riding on the line for a postseason berth in this series, JD.
How about that? Not too long ago, the Cardinals were given up for dead in the wild card race, but they've been playing great baseball. Atlanta has been slipping, so drama remains these final three games. The Astros get a good look at the Cardinals as they try to eke by the Atlanta Braves. The pitching matchup tonight, a couple quality left-handers. Jaime Garcia for the Cardinals, been throwing the ball well lately. Last four starts, 3-0 with a .69 ERA. He has yet to beat the Astros in his career, though. 4 starts, winless with a .591 ERA. Wandy has lost 11 times to the Cardinals, despite some very good starts, including one this year. His last 2 starts against St. Louis have both been wins.
Coming up as the lefties duel here at Minute Maid Park. The Astros have won 4. They've lost 8 against St. Louis, but they've had some memorable moments. Can they conjure up some of those in this three-game series? They would love to be spoilers, and we'll find out if they are in just a moment.
Group. For the money-saving car insurance quote, call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE today. Greg Lucas down in the field inside Minute Maid Park. The roof is closed. We are set for, yes, it's pennant race baseball. The St. Louis Cardinals need some wins to perhaps become the wild card in the National League. Early on, Atlanta has a 2-0 lead over Philadelphia, though. That's the team that they are trying to catch. And so, therefore, there will be a number of Cardinal fans in the ballpark tonight. Wandy Rodriguez will try to slow them down, though, and maybe spoil their chances. Bill Brown and Jim Deshaies are up in the booth. They'll tell you all about it, guys.
Thank you, Greg. And as you have already given us that information, it's a good night to scoreboard watch. Here's the Cardinals batting order. Rafael Furcal, David Freese, Albert Pujols, Matt Holliday, Lance Berkman, Yadier Molina, Ryan Theriot, John Jay, Jaime Garcia.
A very talented lineup that the Cardinals run out there. Wandy Rodriguez is the man charged with shutting them down. You take a look at his last 3 outings. Wandy's been pitching solid baseball of late. A very good start in Cincinnati, but he was on the wrong end of that game. Got beat by Bronson Arroyo, who pitched a complete game shutout. Wandy worked 7 innings and allowed 2 earned runs in that game. Defensively, J.D. Martinez, Jason Bourgeois, and Matt Downs in the outfield. Johnson, Barma, Sanchez, Lee on the infield. J.R. Tolles is behind the plate for Wandy here tonight. Wandy against the Cardinals in his career has lost 11 ball games, but his last 3 outings have been solid. And 2 of those last season, and then this year, 7 innings, 1 earned run allowed in a ball game in which the Astros won 5-3. Allowed 5 hits, 3 runs in that game, 1 earned, walked 1, struck out 6. Overall for his career, 6-11 against St. Louis, despite a very respectable 3.85 ERA. Just a couple of clunkers in there amongst the many starts he's made against St. Louis. Now this will be the 20th time he has made a start against St. Louis.
He beat Jaime Garcia this July 28th in St. Louis 5-3. Rafael Furcal leads it off. And the Cardinals like what he's done for their lineup. There's ball 1. Furcal, a .230 hitter with 8 homers, has 28 runs batted in. He's really taken over at shortstop. And this one goes in the air in right field. Matt Downs heads back, takes care of out number 1.
Maybe a step or 2 in initially, but then able to retreat and put it away. Much to the delight of Javier Bracamonte out there, the bullpen assistant. Cardinals start this game peeking out at the scoreboard and seeing that the Atlanta Braves have a 2-0 lead over Cliff Lee and the Philadelphia Phillies in the 3rd inning. Chipper Jones hit a 1st inning home run in that ball game.
David Freese, a number 2 hitter with plenty of power, at .295 has 10 homers, 54 runs batted in. Strike 1 to Freese, the native of Corpus Christi, Texas. He had a good homestand for the Redbirds, going 7 for 18 with a homer and driving in 6.
Batting average can be an overrated statistic, but having said that, when you look at this Cardinal lineup, it seems like just about everybody hitting .290 or better.
Yeah. .272 team average. Grounder to the right side. Angel Sanchez over to Carlos Lee. 2 down.
In fact, everybody in the lineup tonight hitting .290 or better, except for the leadoff man for Call and Ryan Theriot, who's in the 7 hole. He's hitting .271.
Now Albert Pujols, we got quite an ovation yesterday in St. Louis for what might have been his final home game as a Cardinal. He's tied for the league lead in homers with 37. He's driven in 98. OPS of .916 in the top 10 in the league after a tough start. He's back up to a .300 batting average. Pujols looks at it. It's ball 1. He's a .256 career hitter against Wandy.
And as I mentioned in the pregame show, he's kind of been carrying the load. I mean, he's obviously not the only one, but he's hitting .374 in the month of September with 19 driven in.
Crack bat. It goes out to shortstop. Clint Barmas takes care of out number 3. A very quick first for Wandy Rodriguez. Jaime Garcia is next. Show you the Astros lineup. You'll see the Star Wars paraphernalia. Jason Bourgeois leads it off. He's in center field. It's Angel Sanchez at second base. The left fielder is J.D. Martinez. At first base, it's Carlos Lee. With Matt Downs at right field. Chris Johnson at third base. The shortstop is Clint Barmas. J.R. Tolles is the catcher. And it's Wandy Rodriguez on the mound.
So this is all over baseball. I thought it was just here.
No, it's
Star Wars night. Oh, wow. Who knew?
Well, we were told anyway.
Well, Garcia, he's really been pitching well for the Cardinals in September when they've needed him most. Coming off an outstanding rookie year. He's followed it up with a 13-7 record this year. You look at his last 3 outings, a total of just 4 earned runs allowed over those 3 starts. Defensively, Holiday J. Berkman in the outfield. And freeze for call, Terrio Pujols on the infield. Has not been a particularly good defensive year this year for St. Louis. Yardier Molina continues to be one of the best behind the plate in all of baseball.
Strike 4, Jaime Garcia to Jason Bourgeois, a .295 hitter with 1 homer, 15 runs batted in. He's hitting .394 against lefties, .524 against St. Louis.
Big curveball, a big pitch for Garcia. He's got pretty good run on his fastball and sink. Good straight changeup as well.
A little chopper back to Garcia. And over to Pujols, 1 out. Garcia with 27 wins, 15 losses in his major league career, but 0-3 against Houston. Angel Sanchez getting the call at second base tonight is 3 for 6 in his career against Garcia. .238, 1 homer. 27 runs batted in for Angel this season. He was 1 for 4, driving in 2 in the Colorado series. Swings at that one, and there's strike 1 for Garcia, shooting for win number 14.
Change up very good he has.
Oh, Star Wars stuff. Break out your best stuff tonight, JD.
If he goes deep, you have to do a Chewbacca.
Got to get in character for this game. Brad Mills could care less.
You can make all those highlight shows.
Oh, yeah.
There's a deep drive to left.
Strikeout for Garcia, 2 outs. Garcia has the 5th best ERA among National League left-handers. Wandy Rodriguez the 6th best.
It's a little tighter, smaller breaking ball, more of a slider than that big loopy curveball. Curveballs are great. Pitch to a dangerous hitter. That one he just starts about Letterheim, drops into the zone.
Yeah. Martinez fouls that one off his foot and goes down. JD's going to take his time before getting back up here. Oh, right off the top of it.
Smiling at the absurdity of it all. It's first swing of the night. Come on, man.
What a way to start in that bat.
Start this.
Head athletic trainer Nate Lucero out. Randall Delgado has pitched 3 scoreless innings for Atlanta tonight against Cliff Lee and the Phillies. You mentioned the Chipper Jones homer, giving Atlanta their first run, and they got another in the second to make it a 2-0 lead. Braves with a 1-game lead over the Cardinals, but the Cardinals have moved closer to a playoff spot than they have been since July 28th.
It's interesting because if the Cardinals win the wild card, the Phillies will play the Cardinals in the first round. But if the Braves win the wild card, the Phillies will not play the Braves, because the rules state that you cannot play the wild card team against a division winning team in the first round. So right now that would be Arizona.
Right.
But there's just a game difference between Arizona and Milwaukee. I have no idea what Charlie Manuel and the Phillies, if they have a preference, they would publicly state that they do not.
Phillies have just scored, and it's now 2-1. We're being told that number will go up very shortly on the board. Meanwhile, back to the plate, J.D. Martinez with an 0-1 count. He has 6 homers, 35 runs batted in, a .279 average. He was 4 for 16, driving 2 in the Rockies series. Fastball moves away, and it's 1-1. The Astros 4-8 against the Cardinals, 2-4 here at Minute Maid Park against St. Louis. And smack toward the left center field gap, but Matt Holliday is there. And it's a 1-2-3 first for both pitchers very quickly.
Tonight through Wednesday, you can score $1 ticket for every full-price ticket purchased in select sections. That includes the field boxes. You can also buy vouchers for $1 hot dogs and small sodas for each ticket purchased. Visit Astros.com/fan for $1 days tickets.
First pitch, strike one to Matt Holliday, leading off the second inning. Wandy Rodriguez needed only 7 pitches to get through the first very quickly. Holliday missed a few games with a finger injury. He's been back for a couple. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. It was the middle finger on his right hand, right at the base of that finger. So at 295, he checks in for the first time tonight with Lance Berkman on deck and Molina coming up. Fastball works for strike 2 on Holliday. Cardinals have won 14 of their last 18. They just finished up a 4-2 homestand against New York and Chicago. Foul back, and it's still 1-2. Cardinals have won the last 6 series, including 3 of 4 from the playoff bound Phillies. They have really stepped on the pedal and come a long way here, as you saw earlier. And it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. So they've been given this opportunity with Atlanta falling back, and now just 1 game out. If there is a playoff, if they wind up in a tie after Wednesday night, it'll be a 1-game playoff in St. Louis Thursday. And they're selling tickets for that in St. Louis right now. So there's definitely some excitement on that bench coming into game 1 of this series. Tomorrow night it's Henry Sosa and Jake Westbrook. Wednesday night it's Brett Myers and Chris Carpenter. In the air and foul for Carlos Lee, maybe. Let's see if he can get there. He cannot.
Holliday a little bit behind that fastball. He has hit 258 off of Wandy in his career. 8 hits in 31 at bats. 3 of those 8 hits, however, are home runs.
Cardinals lead the league in run score. They lead in total bases and on base average and slugging. He looks at that one, and it's a full count for Wandy.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier how Albert has really stepped it up here in September. Their pitching too is the league best. 306 earned run average in September for St. Louis. Bullpen has kind of been up and down all year long.
Liner out into left center field. Holliday breaks from the box. The ball goes all the way out to the wall. Holiday into second and taking the turn there, and he will hold on as it comes in from Jason Bourgeois to Clint Barmas. Double for Holiday, number 36 of the year.
Ball where he might have contemplated going for 3 on, but with nobody out, it makes sense to drop anchor and settle in there at second base. He is so strong, and he's extended through this ball. And watch the life it has as it's bounced through the outfield and all the way to the wall. It's a long carry for a low line drive.
36 doubles, and he's aboard for Lance Berkman. Berkman looks set. Strike one from Wandy on the fastball. A .298 hitter with 31 homers, 91 runs batted in.
He's made Minute Maid Park his personal playground this year so far. It is to a good pitch, Lance. Look on Fox Tracks. It's right there.
To the tune, JD, of a .480 batting average, 12 for 25 here, 5 homers, 12 runs batted in this year at Minute Maid Park. That guy.
Yeah, for the longest time he led everybody, including the Astros, in home runs in this ballpark.
Line shot caught by Johnson and a throw to second, not in time for a double play. The ball was absolutely ripped. Chris Johnson took a shot at a double play. 1 out. 1 hard out.
Well, CJ's made a couple spectacular plays over there in recent games. This time Berkman with a bid for an extra base hit, a hooking line drive. Snared by CJ. Holiday has to scramble back.
Good play there with quick reactions by Johnson, and it's Yadier Molina. A torrid Yadier Molina, who just went 11 for 21 on a homestand, up to 305 with 14 homers, 64 runs batted in. Hit a game-tying homer yesterday. He leads the club in batting average, 8th in the National League with that 305, and there's ball 1 to it. 11 for 21 on that homestand as the Cardinals won 4 of 6. Terrio's on deck. It's a 2-ball no strike count. Molina's a .216 lifetime hitter against Wandy Rodriguez. Wandy coming off a 2-0 loss at Cincinnati, shut out by Bronson Arroyo on Wednesday. He gave up 2 runs in 7 innings. Last time he started at home, he was shut out in that one too by Milwaukee, 4-0. His last 5 starts, he's allowed 3 earned runs or less. 3-0 to Molina with Terrio waiting next. Molina takes a walk. 2 men on for Terrio with 1 out now.
Hey, before the game, there was a very special moment down on the field as Drayton McQueen Jr. presented Bill Brown with his copy of the plaque that will be on the Media Hall of Honor outside the press and broadcast area. 25-plus years with the Astros, before that with the Reds. Bill Brown very deservedly honored. And by the way, you can also honor him by voting for him for the Ford Frick Award. That fan balloting will continue through the end of the month. You can get there through this spot or just the BaseballHallOfFame.com site. And they will be taking the top 10 names and putting them in the next level of voting. And hopefully Bill Brown will at some point be elected. To be nice to do it this year. Make it all one big honor on his 25th after celebrating 25 years here.
Thank you, Greg. It's very nice.
Vote for Brownie.
Well, there are some luminaries who deserve to be in. Ryan Terrio, 271, 1 homer. 45 runs batted in. The Cardinal fans certainly have their reasons to vote for Mike Shannon, who's just down the row. His lengthy career.
The big right-hander.
Yeah.
The pitch.
And then there's Tom Cheek, who did so well for so many years with the Toronto Blue Jays before passing away, and just so many deserving candidates. Great to see those guys that we've known down through the years as they go in.
Is it Dave Van Horn this year?
Yeah, it was Dave, and
Wow.
he's a terrific guy and extremely deserving of the honor that he got this year. You kind of grew up listening to him, didn't you, J.D.?
I did. I listened to Dave a fair bit on my little local radio station at home. There were some years where we were a Yankee affiliate, some years where we were an Expo affiliate, and some years when we were not affiliated with any club. But I listened to Dave Van Horn doing Expo games with Duke Snyder.
Yeah. Brad Mills' club hoping for good, solid pitching tonight after getting thumped yesterday by Colorado 19-3. And on Saturday night losing in 13, 4-2 to Colorado. Tony La Russa's club trying to get another playoff spot.
Yeah, hopefully the fact that the Cardinals are in the hunt will just raise the level of baseball altogether here for this final 3-game set of the year, because that series with the Rockies was pretty ugly. The Astros managed to win 2 of the 4, but just the play overall from both clubs was not good.
34th year as the manager, 2,726 wins. 3rd winningest manager all time. And he's the winningest in Cardinal history. 1-2. It brings to mind the old saying from John McKay, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers coach in the early years of their existence when they didn't win a game forever and ever and ever. JD, the type of baseball we witnessed in those games you were talking about. And somebody asked him, well, what did you think of the execution of your team? He said, overall, I'm in favor of it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Red Sox 2, Orioles 1. They're in the bottom of the 4th in Baltimore.
What a win for the Red Sox last night.
Yes.
Second game of the day-night doubleheader in the 14th inning. Jacoby Ellsbury hit a home run, and they beat the Yankees.
Did you happen to see the windup of that?
I did not.
It was really a gripping game, and he hit that ball a ton into the right center field bullpen and furthered his MVP credentials now.
Now, frankly, after what happened here the last couple of days, I was not in the mood to watch much more baseball.
Couldn't blame you, pal. Not a bit.
I did check my iPhone before I went to bed, though. It was in the 14th inning at that point.
Well, of course, the question now is about Jonathan Papelbon for tonight. He went 2 1/3 innings in that game. That was close. It was called ball 3, and it's a full count to Terrio. And Terrio has a .294 average, including a homer off Wandy Rodriguez.
Ball just slides off the inside corner.
Paul Nowert shaking his head no. Now, Terrio has struck out 41 times. Runners at first and second, a 3-2 count with 1 out in the inning.
Terrio usually likes to shoot the ball the other way. The Astros play him a little bit toward the outfield and shallow.
Runners move on it. It's popped up. Carlos Lee might have a shot, and he does on the foul pop. For out number 2.
A very tentative swing there by Terrio on 3-2, and you just wonder if sometimes the hitter's influenced by the fact that the base runners are moving. It puts another thought in his mind.
It was a tentative swing.
But, you know, Tony La Russa, his manager, would tell him, hey, don't worry, you're not up there. In that instance, you're not there to protect anybody. Just get a pitch to handle, take a whack at it. If not, take it.
Yeah. I think that might have been ball 4. It was hard to tell from that.
I don't know. I looked like maybe he was just out in front a little bit.
Reaching a little bit. 296 for John Jay, 10 homers. A very good number 8 hitter with those numbers. 342 on base average. Ball 1 to Jay. Jay's played a lot, and he's played well for the Redbirds this year. When they traded Colby Rasmus to Toronto, that meant that Jay would be assured more playing time if he was healthy, and Cardinals have not really missed Rasmus. Rasmus has recently been injured for the Blue Jays. Really has not done a whole lot since he arrived in Toronto. It's 2-1 with pitcher Garcia on deck. Now, Josh Beckett has a certain amount of pressure on him for Boston tonight to go deep into that game, considering the way the bullpen has been used.
What aces are supposed to do.
True. 2-2 the count.
Yeah, Colby Rasmus hitting a .187 for Toronto this year in 32 games played. He's missed a lot of time since joining the Jays.
Matt Wieters hit his 21st home run of the year for Baltimore in that game. 2-1 Boston after 4. Little chop slowly hit. Carlos Lee in for it. Stepping on the bag to get the out on Jay. Lead off double, but no runs, 1 hit. 2 men stranded for St. Louis in a scoreless game. Downs and Johnson coming up against Jaime Garcia. Fans of the Astros and Cardinals, and of course way back in the 50s the Houston Buffs used to be a Cardinal farm club, so there are still those fans who remember going to those minor league games once upon a time, seeing a lot of the great Cardinal players come through Houston on their way to the big leagues. Carlos Lee at 277 with 18 homers has 94 runs batted in. He's 9th in the league now in runs batted in and tied for 4th in doubles with 38. There's strike 1 to him. Larry Miggins is here in the crowd tonight. He was a Buff and Cardinal outfielder, so he wouldn't miss a game like this. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cardinals have seen Carlos Lee do a number on them. 13 runs batted in 12 games. 1-2 for El Caballo.
See Garcia, one of those guys who effectively uses all 4 quadrants of the strike zone and beyond, up, down, in and out, both right and left-handed hitters. You see a good look at it there. These first 3 offerings for Carlos. Down and in, down and away, up and away, and now 1 up and in.
4 for 10 with a homer against Jaime. And a slow grounder hit to third. David Freese taking extra time. 1 out. Well, Garcia's 4-3 on the road this season with a 4.42 ERA. Had a little slump earlier in the year, but lately numbers have been very good. He's coming off a win over New York on Wednesday in which he did not allow an earned run. He gave up 4 unearned runs in 7 2/3 innings. Cardinals have had some defensive problems this year, as JD indicated. They had some in his last start. Matt Downs takes, and there's ball 1 to Matt with 9 homers, 39 runs batted in, a 277 average.
Change up to start this at bat.
His well-deserved reputation as a fastball hitter is coming into play here. He drove in 5 runs in the Rockies series. That one in the air to center field. Jay tracking it in behind second base. We go to Greg Lucas.
Hey, this Dayton Astros history brought to you by the MD Anderson Cancer Center, making cancer history, and everyone remembers this in 1981. Nolan Ryan throwing his 5th no-hitter retiring the final 19 in the game. And here is the way it ended against the Dodgers. His final inning. Nice catch in right field by Poole. Then Dusty Baker to Art Howe to the history books. Number 5, of course, that made him the all-time no-hit pitcher, and he added 2 more later on.
Amazing.
Yeah. So we talked about that yesterday. The baseball almanac website had that as happening yesterday. They need to fix their site.
We'll get to talk about it twice as much this way. One ball, one strike.
It's on there for today too. He must have had his 5th no-hitter in back-to-back days.
Well, it's kind of like
maybe I jumped ahead a day yesterday because it was 19-3.
That could have been it.
That's probably most likely.
In '81, which was a strike-shortened year, he had an 11-5 record. Look at the ERA, 1.69 for 21 starts. And a long shutdown in the middle of that season, too, to resume play. Johnson strikes out. That's number 2 for Garcia. He's retired the first 6. It's 0-0 after 2.
Star Wars night at Minute Maid Park, and I've got some of the folks that are walking around in the officially sanctioned Star Wars uniform. Of course, I've got the Dark Lord of the Sith. Darth Vader is here with me. We got an Imperial Star Trooper. We have a Jedi Knight down here. Talk about what you guys are doing tonight.
We were invited by Lucasfilm and the Astros to come out to support Stand Up for Cancer, and they're doing this nationwide. A lot of it was last week, but we're here for charity. The Astros were selling tickets with a special code, and a portion of the money went to Stand Up to Cancer charity.
Well, that's great. I'm guessing you guys have taken more pictures than you can count tonight, right?
Yes, sir.
Is it difficult to see and breathe in all this gear?
Pretty hard to see in his helmet.
Yeah. What's the strangest thing somebody's asked you to do for him? He says, off the record or on the record? On the record.
On the record.
Hold their baby. That would be odd. Darth, how are you?
Good.
You doing okay?
Very fine.
Can you breathe in that thing?
Not at all.
Not at all. Good. Well, they're having a blast. They're walking around taking all kinds of pictures. We got a young man right here who wants to step in and get his picture taken. This is going on all across baseball. It's for a very good cause, and the folks here are having a blast with it. Of course, the suit, it doesn't have any magical powers. He can't put like the strangle move.
Good acting, Bart. That was awesome.
Wow, that is some suit. Back to you, Brownie.
Terrific job, Bart.
Thank you.
Way to go, Bart.
1 ball, 1 strike, 2 for call after Garcia grounded out. That's good stuff.
I didn't know Darth Vader had that power. I guess I have to revisit those movies. Yeah. I just thought he breathed a lot.
They're doing a charity effort, though. Didn't realize that, so that's a good angle to it.
I'd like one of those Stormtrooper outfits for Halloween. That would be good.
We'll get you one, JD.
Yeah.
You can wear it home tonight, in fact. Hopefully they won't pull you over on the way home. Well, he struck him out. That's strikeout number 1 for Wandy Rodriguez.
Big swing of the bat, but over the top of the Wandy Rodriguez curveball. For a call. With 8 home runs this year, 7 since joining the Cardinals. Has provided some life at the top of the order when healthy. Phillies now tied with Atlanta.
2 outs, and it's David Freese. Jimmy Rollins homered to tie that game. Single up the middle by Freese. Freese gets hit number 2 for the Redbirds, and he's aboard for Albert Pujols. Albert answering a lot of questions about his contract for next year. After the game yesterday in St. Louis, Cardinal fans gave him about a 40-second standing ovation his first time up, from what we read. And every single year of the 11, he's been a major leaguer. If he gets 2 more runs batted in, that is, he will have hit 30 homers and driven in 100. He has 98 runs batted in. His batting average started the night at 300. Every year he's hit 300 as well. He's come a long way to get to 300 right now. It's ball 1. Tampa Bay leads the Yankees 3-2. They're in the bottom of the 4th at St. Petersburg. Hector Noesi started for New York, left after 2 innings. James Shields complete game. James pitching for Tampa Bay. Robinson Cano hit his 28th homer off Shields. Ground ball past a lunging Chris Johnson into the left field corner. Now Barmas will pick it up as it hits that section of stands that juts out, so it didn't make it all the way back into the corner. It's a double for Pujols, his 29th.
And nice play by Barmas, pursuing that ball down there and preventing that run from scoring. CJ looked like he got kind of caught up here.
Yeah.
He first starts to move on the ball and then restarts.
He sure did.
He just hit that little padding there along the wall. Otherwise, it goes into the corner, and the Cardinals are on the board.
Pujols had a 40-game streak of reaching base. That was just snapped over the weekend. Now he's aboard, and runners at second and third for Holiday. Holiday smacked a line drive double to left center on a 3-2 count in the second inning. Holiday takes it. It's ball 1.
In recent years, this would be a situation where you'd be willing to put Holiday on and pitch to a right-handed hitting Lance Berkman, but Lance has been a lot better from the right side this year than in previous seasons.
Fouls that one, and it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count on Holiday.
Lance still better from the left side, but he's hitting .278 as a right-handed hitter. .352 on base, .450 slugging. So I think the play here is to go ahead and try to get Holiday, just being aware of the fact that if you fall behind him, you don't have to give in. You've got a base open.
Holiday 4 points below 300. 48 pitches for Wandy Rodriguez. He's been a consistent 300 hitter every year, starting in 05. Career .317 average coming into this season. He's another of those triple milestone guys. He did it in 07 and 06 with 330 homers and 100 runs batted in the same year. Smacks one into left field. Cardinals grab the lead. Free scoring. Pujols coming to the plate. Throw to the plate. Tolles with the tag, and he got him. So with 2 outs, Pujols runs into out number 3 on the RBI single by Holiday, giving him 75 runs batted in. Here's a throw from J.D. Martinez for his 5th outfield assist. 1-0 Cardinals.
1-0. The Astros wrap up the 2011 season this Wednesday against the Cardinals, and fans at the 7:05 game will receive a 2011 Astros team poster courtesy of the Houston Chronicle. And to get tickets for that game, go to Astros.com. That'll be a nice little keepsake, guys.
Yes, it will, Bart. Thank you for that. 1-0 Redbirds, bottom of the third coming. The Astros do not have a base runner through 2 against Jaime Garcia. Clint Barmas will try to get something going here using one of Craig Biggio's bats. He got about 4 bats in after he broke a couple in the Chicago series. There's ball 1. 12 homers, 39 runs batted in at .246 average. One of those 12 homers came with a Biggio bat here. Garcia kept that one down nicely. It's 1-1. Wandy Rodriguez gave up a 3rd inning run, but then Pujols was thrown out at the plate.
Just a 2-out send there by Akendo. Playing as a third base coach, you realize if the other team executes, you're probably sending a guy into an out. Over 2 outs, you're hoping for a little bit of a mishandle or an errant throw.
Martinez made a very good one-hop throw to Toles. Got it there with plenty of time for JR to set up.
Of course, the downside is you've got Lance Berkman scheduled up next.
Yeah.
You would have 2 men in scoring position.
Good point. Line drive single to right for Barmas.
You know, sending him here is certainly a defensible play. I mean, because of the 2-out situation, but would not have been surprised to see him throw up a stop sign either, because as I mentioned, with the good work Lance has done as a right-handed hitter this year, you like his chances. But that just set up perfectly for Martinez. Straight in, did not have to go left or right, so the shoulders were squared up as he picked up the ball. In great position to make that throw.
J.R. Toles is catching Wandy Rodriguez for the 2nd straight start. Has 3 homers and 10 runs batted in.
Of course, we've seen Albert run through so many stop signs over the years. It may be that Akenda was just saying, well, I might as well send him because he's going anyway. Why introduce any doubt into his mind? Just let him go. He's going to run anyway.
For sure. Toles with a 183 average, making his 4th start in the last 7 games. Had a 2-hit game at Cincinnati last week. It's no balls, 2 strikes. And JR's in the lineup against the Cardinals. They always remember that 8 RBI game he had against them. That one bounces, kicks away from Molina, and good base running by Barmas, who took right off to get to second on a wild pitch. That could be big.
Well, that's not a bad 2-strike pitch for Garcia, because last thing you want to do is leave a breaking ball in the strike zone. So he throws that nasty yacker. He spiked that one. It's about a 58-footer. That's a very difficult one for a catcher to corral and contain.
Toles takes, and it's 2-2. Carlos Corporon may have arrived at the ballpark, but he was with his infant son, who was going through 8 hours of heart surgery today. And that's his 2nd surgery since he was born just a few months ago.
I think that would warrant a night off.
Oh, yes. That was left up to him whether he came or not tonight.
You should have told him not to.
Well, that can happen sometimes. You're right. Sometimes people would rather be told rather than have the option, because they feel duty bound to show up if they possibly can.
Just don't worry about it. We got you covered. Lots of 104 ball games. There's not a whole lot on the line here.
It gets by Garcia, and Furcal spins and throws from the outfield grass, not in time. An infield hit for Toles. Looked like Garcia might have been able to grab for it, but it would have been a long extension required for him, and then Furcal had to spin to his left, and Barmas wound up at third.
Just a little Roller up the middle. Interesting, had Barmes not been able to advance on the wild pitch, they would have been playing a double play depth, and Furcal would have been a lot closer to the middle of the diamond, so that would have turned into an easy play, maybe even a double play.
Yeah, that's a good point
for the Cardinals. But
yeah, JR pulls a lot of balls, but not that time. Wandy Rodriguez with 10 hits and 60 at bats, 5 sacrifice bunts, jumps to the plate. Jason Bourgeois on deck. Wandy takes, and there's ball 1.
Managers love this situation. You got first and third, nobody out, your pitcher up there, so you're looking to just put a bunt down and move that back runner into scoring position, and then you trust your base runner on third base to read it. And if he gets a chance to go ahead and come home on the bunt play, then go for it. Third baseman pinches in. This allows Barmes to come down the line aggressively with the pitch.
Yeah, he's playing it perfectly behind Freese. Every time Freese takes a step in, Barmes takes a step in. 2-0. The idea being, if you're in Barmes' situation, you can beat that third baseman back to the base, so he cannot tag you out if you stay right behind him. Wandy takes a strike. 2-1. Happy anniversary to Dan and Mary Carol Hazel. 19 years. Wedded in.
Carol up here in the booth with us tonight.
Yeah.
Working on our anniversary. How about that?
That is some loyalty. Wandy bunts it foul. Now it's 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, we have to give a shout out to Kim Wilkinson too, who would be working tonight, but she's recovering from hip surgery.
True, yeah. Yeah, she was on crutches here over the weekend for social media night. She couldn't miss that. But you know, she got all the way out to the patio, JD, for the cake with Allison Footer, and then she was all the way back here, so she's getting around pretty well on those crutches.
Those are no fun.
No. She's going to be at it on crutches for a while. Bunted out in front of the dish. Molina will throw to first. Here's Barmes in the throw back to the plate, and he scores. Great base running by Barmes. He saw Molina leave the plate, and then he took off. And it's tied 1-1. As Wandy puts the bunt down, advancing Toles to second and scoring Barmes.
Yeah, this is not an easy read for Barmes, but he does have a little wiggle room. You see him bouncing around out there. Molina probably had time to take one look at Barmes and chase him back a step or two and then make the throw to first base. And he doesn't really do that. He just makes the play to first base, even though he had plenty of time to get Wandy. And the no look from Molina was the green light for Barmes to come home. If Molina gives him one look, a little pump fake, anything, that's going to get Barmes retreating back towards the base, kill any momentum he would have coming home.
Jason Bourgeois looks at ball 1. Yeah, you can trace Barmes with that good base running all the way around the bases. He singled. He took off immediately on the ball in the dirt, getting to second on a wild pitch, and then on a grounder to shortstop, he took third, and then scored on that little bunt. Jerk toward the left field corner. That'll make it 2-1 Astros with Toles scoring. Bourgeois headed for second base. RBI double Bourgeois. 16th run batted in for Jason. That's his 8th two-base hit. And he continues to hit better than .500 against Cardinal pitching this year.
The Astros have found success against Garcia so far in his young career. He has not yet beaten the Astros in 4 starts. And when they flash this 2 spot up on the board in Atlanta, the Brave fans will cheer because their 9 now trails the Phillies 3-2. Phillies putting Singletons up in the 4th, 5th, and now 6th. And they still bat in the 6th, does Philadelphia.
Angel Sanchez struck out in the first inning. Strike 1 for Garcia. Garcia's from Reynosa, Mexico. Our leaders of the game is brought to you by United, proud to fly the Houston Astros. Bourgeois has 31 steals. He had 15 in his previous 3 seasons. He's only been caught 6 times. He's tied for 8th in the league in steals. participants, is it?
I think the Astros ought to run a promotion and give discounted tickets to anybody wearing Brave gear here at the ballpark for this series. Come in and cheer for the Astros.
Not a bad thought. We were remembering in 06, at the end of the season, the Astros were in Atlanta. Cardinals had a 9-game losing streak, and the Astros pulled it within a half game of them in that season-ending series. The Cardinals held them off, but they really had to do a job that last weekend to make it in. Sanchez strikes out.
Didn't Smoltz?
Garcia's walking off the mound.
We get 3.
It's out number 2.
Look at your kangaroo court fine.
Yeah, Smoltz.
Didn't he throw a big shutdown game against the Astros on a Sunday afternoon?
He did.
Yeah.
He did. He beat Andy Pettit, who gave up 1 run in 7 innings. Yep. Or Chris Sampson. I'm sorry. Pettit won the day before. Sampson started that Sunday game.
Yeah, there's Garcia doing the stomp off, yelling at himself, and then he's embarrassed. So the whole range of emotions there. Happy with the strikeout, mad about the inning, and then just completely embarrassed that he thought there were 2 outs.
Well, in that 06 season, though, as much as the Cardinals stumbled and they barely made the playoffs, they wound up winning it all. J.D. Martinez hit a fly ball to left in the first.
Yeah, well, that's just the nature of baseball. You know, the fits and starts, the streaks, the slumps, sometimes inexplicable. Now, if a team is hurt and banged up and short on manpower, and that's why they're losing, it's hard to expect them to do much in the postseason. But if the team is relatively healthy but just losing, they can be very dangerous.
Yeah. Fly ball over first base, headed for foul territory outside the right field line. There's a foul ball as Lance Berkman comes over.
I don't know that there's a whole lot to suggest that a good September leads to a good October.
No. Boston 2, Baltimore 2. They've played 5 in Baltimore. Now looking back at Jaime Garcia's start by start against Houston, there have been 4 starts. The best he's pitched against the Astros, 5 innings, 3 earned runs allowed. Carlos Lee on deck. Bouncer back to Garcia. Now he can walk over to the Cardinal dugout, but he's given up 2 runs on 3 hits in the 3rd inning, and the Astros lead it 2-1 after 3. Club scoring in the 3rd inning. Lance Berkman leads it off in the 4th. He blistered a line drive, and it was caught by a stretching Chris Johnson in the 2nd inning. big play in this game. There had been a leadoff double by Holiday, and the Cardinals never did score in that frame. But Berkman continues to pound the ball when facing the Astros this year. This one goes out to left center field. Bourgeois backing. And it's out number 1. Check the wild card races for you. Atlanta with a 1-game lead over St. Louis. The Phillies are on top now. 3-2 ahead of Atlanta in the bottom of the 6th inning. Jimmy Rollins has homered for them. Chipper Jones has hit one for the Braves. And there you see that picture with just 3 games remaining. Meanwhile, it's Boston up on Tampa Bay by 1, and the Angels are 3 games out. Boston and Baltimore tied. Yankees have fallen behind Tampa Bay in the 5th, 4-2. Upton with a 2-run double. Texas and the Angels start later, and C.J. Wilson, Rangers' best starter, goes tonight.
He's already been named as the opening day guy for the postseason for Ron Washington's group.
Fastball works. Yadier Molina has a 1-ball, 1-strike count.
Molina earned a reputation in this league because of his defensive abilities, but slowly but surely he's become a pretty darn good offensive player. This is his best season at the plate, especially in the power department.
2 balls and a strike to Molina, 29 years old, 4th round pick in 2000. It's 2-2. Randall Delgado went 5 tonight for Atlanta as the starter. That could wind up being the death knell if the Braves don't make the playoffs. Starting pitchers not giving them enough innings. Foul back. In game 2 of that series tomorrow night, it's going to be Roy Oswalt and Derek Lowe. The Phillies initially had Cole Hamels down to start Wednesday night. Now they've changed and they've said he will pitch in relief. And either Kyle Kendrick or Vance Worley will oppose Tim Hudson Wednesday night.
Time for Charlie Manuel to get his rotation in order for the postseason, get guys tuned up.
Cardinals have won 9 of their last 11 on the road, and they're 43-35 away from Busch Stadium. Breaking pitch stays high, and it's 3-2. They drew more than 3 million at home. Another bit of tremendous support from the St. Louis fans, hoping that La Russa and the Redbirds can pull through to another playoff outing. 3-2. Tony has managed 13 playoff teams in the major leagues. Cardinals have drawn 3 million or more 8 consecutive years now. Foul ball by Molina keeps it at 3 balls, 2 strikes. The Cardinal pitching coach Dave Duncan is with his ailing wife. He's been away from the club for about a month now. There's a foul ball. And due to return here Wednesday. This will be the 10th pitch coming for Wandy. It's ball 4.
Didn't have to be.
Pretty good pitch. Second walk for Wandy.
Dave Duncan celebrating a birthday today, along with that cast of characters. Olivia Newton-John is 63 today. Milos Krzansai, the great Serbian poet.
Oh.
Born on this date in 1893.
It's always a learning experience for us on those birthday lists. Ryan Theriot fouled out with runners at first and second and 1 out, his first time up. Theriot was the opening day shortstop. He became the 5th different player to start on opening day at that position for the Cardinals in the last 7 years. They've had David Eckstein, Cesar Izturis, Khalil Green, Brendan Ryan. But they dealt for Furcal, and they feel that he's helped their club at that position.
Furcal, over the last 10 years or so, has been one of the best shortstops in the National League when healthy. He's had a lot of health problems in recent seasons. I don't know what the plan is with the Cardinals and for call going forward.
Not sure about that.
Cardinals have bigger fish to fry with Albert.
Yes, they do.
Got Berkman signed. They got Chris Carpenter signed. Wainwright's on a long-term deal.
Bouncer by the mound. Then Barma shovels behind him. Sanchez then with the turn. Out at first. A 6-4-3 double play. Well coordinated. Sanchez got it off quickly onto Carlos Lee. And the Astros get their 137th double play. Maintain the lead 2-1. And this is a charity appearance by the Star Wars characters. Much livening up the atmosphere here at Minute Maid Park tonight. Pretty good ball game too. 2-1 Houston. Carlos Lee in the box to open up the home fourth inning. He grounded out third earlier.
I think all the umpires should be dressed like Darth Vader.
Yeah. Love that guy's voice, the Darth Vader costume guy. Gotta have him do a couple innings tonight. 1 ball, 1 strike.
That was like one of those Bud spots. Here's to you, Mr. Darth Vader costume guy.
Yeah, those are great. Red Sox 2, Orioles 2, bottom of the 6th in Baltimore. Beckett still in. It's a 3-ball, 1 strike count. Detroit is playing for home field advantage in the playoffs and has a 6-0 lead over Cleveland. In the bottom of the 8th inning, there's the walk to Carlos Lee. That would be the second best home record because the Yankees already have clinched the best record in the American League. But still, you're talking about playoff seeding, and most teams would prefer not to play the Yankees in the first round. Right now, Detroit is 1 game behind Texas. Rangers and Yankees have played several times in the playoffs down through the years.
That's the thing, usually in the postseason, there's a team or two that just seems, if they were to advance beyond the first round, it would be a real surprise. But this year, not everybody involved. It's a pretty good club. I mean, Atlanta and Boston struggling here at the end, but all summer long, they were very good baseball teams.
Mm-hmm. Down showing bunt, taking ball 1.
Everybody in the postseason is going to finish with 90 wins or better.
Now the Tigers, for instance, Doug Fister's been about as hot as anybody. And he's pitched 8 shutout innings against Cleveland tonight, giving up 3 hits. High to left field, and this one's going to make it 4-1 Astros. Matt Downs with a 2-run homer, number 10. .41 runs batted in for Matt Downs. Well, he's become a platoon right fielder, and he has had some good swings against lefty pitching this year.
First at bat, Garcia started with back-to-back changeups, and then threw him a good fastball down in the zone. This time it's a fastball up mid-thigh, and Downs jumps all over it. It was after getting squeezed on a couple of borderline low fastballs to Carlos, and maybe he felt like he had to elevate a little bit to get a call. But Downs ready to take advantage.
Yes, he was. That brings out acting pitching coach Derek Lilliquist.
It's a pretty impressive swing there by Downs. So that's 10 home runs and 197 at bats.
Downs making a bid for a lot more playing time next year. .508 slugging percentage when the game started, coming up a little bit. Chris Johnson is next. Lilliquist was the bullpen coach, but he's taken over in the absence of Dave Duncan as the pitching coach until Dave returns on Wednesday. Garcia surrendering his 15th homer of the year. Eduardo Sanchez is warming up. 2 balls, no strikes to Chris Johnson. That's hit foul. Yeah, Pfister with that good game going for Detroit last night, and well, lately Pfister has been really on fire. 6-0 with a 0.76 ERA his last 7 games, while the Tigers have the best record in the majors since August 19th, 27-9. So they could be one of those teams you're talking about. Sanchez warming up. 2 balls, a strike. Ubaldo Jimenez pretty well crunched tonight for Cleveland, giving up 9 hits and 6 earned runs in 5 innings. Top foul, and it's 2-2.
Coming into this game, Matt Downs' home run rate was a home run every 21.7 at bats, the best on the club. Carlos leads in home runs, but he goes deep every 32 at bats.
Strikeout, that's number 4 for Garcia. Cardinals have Westbrook going tomorrow night, Carpenter Wednesday night. Clint Barmas lined a single to right first time up. Now he lines one foul. Clint with very good base running, advanced second on a wild pitch, took third on a ground out, and then scored on a bunt, and Wandy Rodriguez got the RBI, his 5th of the year on that bunt. It's 1-1. Mets lead Cincinnati in New York 4-3, bottom of the 6th inning. Let's call the swing, and it's 1-2 to Barmas. Phillies 3, Braves 2 after 6 in Atlanta. Eric O'Flaherty's in the game now for Atlanta. That's almost a nightly occurrence. Strikeout number 5 for Garcia.
That home run got his attention.
Sure did.
Cliff Lee worked 6 innings for the Phillies tonight in his final start of the regular season. Allowed 5 hits, 2 runs, walked no one. That's the norm for him. He struck out 6. Finished the regular season with a 2.40 ERA. A chance to be the winning pitcher tonight, and a chance to be the Cy Young Award winner in the National League.
Yeah. Strike to J.R. Tolles, who got a single up the middle.
He wins, he'll be 17-8.
1-1. Shortstop for Caldo is right. And the throw on the run in the dirt, but Pujols is able to dig it out. Matt Dowd's 2-run homer lifts the Astros to a 4-1 lead after 4.
It's time for our progressive fan of the game, and tonight we're going to honor one of the members of Allison Footer's social media group. That's been a very, very exciting little experiment that the Astros have been going on this year, and Allison's done a great job. David Keith, one of those guys who's heavily involved, been a lifelong Astros fan. How long have you been an Astros fan?
Well, I'm 28, so 28 years. Just
tell the story of your grandmother. She got you into the Astros game.
Right. So my granny is she's 97 this year. She'll be 98 next May. She longtime baseball fan herself. In fact, her parents were big fans. Got her hooked on baseball from the Houston Buffs. So she taught me everything about how to watch the games, who to root for, how to even break down a player's swing. Yeah. Just everything I know about baseball, honestly.
And she's watching tonight?
She's watching tonight.
So say hello.
Hey, Granny, I love you. I love you so much. Thank you for introducing me to the Astros.
How about this social media that the Astros have got going? That's a neat way to meet other fans. You guys hang out, watch games together?
Right. It's a really cool deal. You get to meet other fans of the game who you might not have met otherwise. Go to bars, meet up with them during away games. Allison, I know, has done some great events, that I've managed to make it to here. It's great, too, with her engagement with the players, and even the players' engagement on Twitter has been phenomenal. It helps make a more personal feel to the team, especially with all the changes lately.
Well, David Keith, obviously a very passionate Astros fan, and for that, you are the progressive fan of the game.
All right. Thank you very much.
Well deserving. Back to you, Brownie.
Well, while you guys have been chatting, and we're glad you did, John Jay hit that double off the left field wall, and Jaime Garcia was coming up, but then he was called back, and the Cardinals have decided to pinch hit for him here with backup catcher Gerald Laird.
Yeah, these games are like playoff games for the Cardinals, and this is a fairly typical move you would see in a postseason game. 4-1, fifth inning. Even though during the regular season you'd probably look for a little more out of your starter. Tony La Russa has to take advantage of every run scoring opportunity he gets. So he's going to send Gerald Laird up there to face Wandy, and he's going to check in with his bullpen, see how things are coming together out there. Gerald Laird, 232, 1 home run, 12 RBIs this year. He's got pretty good numbers against Wandy. I was looking at that earlier. Not a lot of at-bats, but 4 out of 7 against him, plus a walk.
He takes ball one. And here is September baseball, as Laird is 4 for 7. Normally, a lot of teams would carry 2 catchers, but there's always an extra catcher in September, so managers not shy about using one to pinch hit in the 5th inning. Regular season, probably not. 1 ball or no balls, 2 strikes to Laird. Let's make it 1-1. Scoreboard has 0-2. James Shields pitching well tonight for Tampa Bay. He's given up 2 to the Yankees through 6 innings. 4-2. Tampa Bay batting bottom of the 6th with the lead.
Laird 1 out of 5 in the pinch this year. Veteran, he's been around the game a good while now. Pretty good hitting catcher over the years. A good bunter. Every now and then will drop down a bunt for a base hit.
Yeah, we've seen him do that. (3-1) to Laird. Rodriguez could really feel good about being 12-11, and he could get to 12-11 with a win tonight. He's 11-11 on a club with a 55-104 record. And trying to become the first Astros starting pitcher with a winning record. Now 3-2. Mark Melanson out of the bullpen, 7-4. And Sergio Escalona, 2-1.
It's got to be looking fastball there, but couldn't get to that 3-1 heater. Trying to yank one, and Wandy stayed away from him.
Laird draws a pinch walk. 3rd walk for Rodriguez. Furcal comes up for the 3rd time. He's fly to right and struck out. Jose Oquendo has a word for him. David Freese is on deck. Cardinals with all this firepower. 737 runs scored coming into this game tonight. Tops in the National League, can really strike with big innings. Brad Mills comes out.
Well, this is it right here. This is a very important inning in this game as the top of the order comes up now for their 3rd look at Wandy. And they come up with a 2-man on and nobody out.
As you mentioned, with the Phillies leading Atlanta 3-2, the Braves are batting now in the bottom of the 7th inning. And Joe Savory from Rice University has gone in relief of Cliff Lee. So it's kind of unusual that Savory would be pitching in a game like that. But here again, hey, the Phillies have clinched. Charlie Manuel can do what he wants to do. He may want to rest some people in his bullpen. Now the Astros deploy as if they're expecting a bunt here from Furcal. Corner infielder's in, but he's not bunting there. Strike 1.
And maybe bunting now. A lot of times the manager won't put the bunt sign on initially, give a hitter one chance, assuming that the pitcher's going to throw one in there, expecting bunt. Furcal taking that strike. It's called a ball. That was a strike.
I did too. Yeah, but it's a strike. The scoreboard has it as a ball. It's 0-2. Now they're changing the scoreboard. Toles battles that one in, keeps it close. It's 1-2.
One thing Tony La Russa wants to make sure of is that Albert Pujols gets to swing the bat as much as possible. He's probably thinking, well, if I bunt with Furcal, and I guess 2nd and 3rd, and 1 out, and if Freese punches out or pops up, that takes the bat out of Albert's hands.
Ball keeps it at 1 ball, 2 strikes. Washington 2, Florida 2. They're in the bottom of the 4th at Florida.
Not to mention the fact the Cardinals are down 3 runs, so they need a bunch.
Cardinals have scored 66 runs in 12 games against the Astros this season. Ball 2 makes it 2-2. Back in that 06 season in September, the Astros swept St. Louis in a 4-game series. Well, they made them work for it. Flared over first base, and that looks like a hit in shallow right field. It drops in for a single to load the bases. Well, for call, singles, and now 3 men on, nobody out for Freeze.
Just a matter of some inexperience out there for Matt Downs. He just has not played a lot of outfield. Played some in the minor leagues, but not a bunch. And just recently, he's been getting a couple of starts out there. It's a little bit of a late break from Matt. And he plays it on the hop. Base is juiced.
Well, quite an opportunity here as Freeze bats. Freeze singled and scored in the third. He's 1 for 2. Freeze had a 5 RBI game last Wednesday against the Mets. Looking at ball 1 with Pujols on deck. Kyle McClellan's warming up. 1-1 to David Freeze. And he has shown if he can stay healthy, he can really be a factor on this Cardinal club. But he has frequently been injured. He had surgery on both ankles last year. In 2009 he had ankle surgery. This year a broken bone in his left hand, hit by a pitch. Two balls and a strike.
Paul Maurer has been consistent this evening behind home plate on that borderline low fastball. He's not giving it to Rodriguez. Didn't give it to Garcia either.
Curveball grounded at second. Sanchez with the toss. Farmas the middleman. 4-6-3 double play with a run scoring to make it 4-2, but the Astros will make that exchange. A run for 2 outs. No RBI for Freeze. Laird to third.
Yeah, couldn't ask for a better ground ball to start a double play. Hit sharply, so plenty of time to handle it and get it around the keystone there from second to first to finish off Freeze.
The Cardinals have hit into 192 double plays this year. Pujols doubled to left in the third inning. He's 1 for 2. Strike to Pujols. 7 times he's been in the top 2 in the MVP voting. Finished second last year. High, and it's hooking and going foul. Reaches the upper deck.
He's quick. That got everybody up on their feet.
He's hit 24 home runs here at Minute Maid Park. Swing and a miss. Big strikeout for Wandy Rodriguez, getting Pujols to end the top of the 5th. 1-run scores on 2 hits. Strikeout for Wandy, number 2, and the Astros lead it 4-2.
Football season. You can see high school football online through foxsportshouston.com. Our coverage Saturday at 6 o'clock has Pearland High School versus Clear Creek High School. Join us all season long at foxsportshouston.com, your home for high school football in Texas. Brownie.
Thanks, Greg. We have a couple of changes here for Tony La Russa. Nick Punto has gone in to play shortstop, so we're conjecturing that perhaps Rafael Furcal was hurt. He was raced on the double play ball, and Kyle McClellan is the new pitcher, working to Wandy Rodriguez. He was a starter, now in relief, and combined record of 12-7 with a 4.22 ERA. Strike call to Wandy, who got the bunt down and got an RBI on it when Barma scored. And Wandy got a sacrifice, getting tolls to second base in that third inning. There's been no announcement on why Furcal left the game, but it's a double switch, so the pitcher McClellan goes into the number 1 spot in the order, and Punto bats ninth.
Straight double switch just to reposition the pitcher. It's just one spot in the batting order, so probably is some kind of a physical problem with Furcal.
We think we're going to get a look at it. Get out of here to left center field. Holiday backing on it. A deep drive for Wandy, and that bangs off the wall. Extra bases getting him to second with an opposite field double. He unloaded over Holiday's head. Third double of the year for Rodriguez.
He's found his power stroke in recent games. First hit this one, he probably thought he got one out of here. He just didn't. He's just a little too quick.
Yeah.
A little later, and he has it into the Crawford boxes for a home run.
True. Hit about halfway up on that wall. Just at the top of the padding for his third double. That's Wandy's 11th hit of the year. What a job he's done with the bat tonight, with the bunt and then that swing. Jason Bourgeois, the batter, he had the RBI single in the third. He's 1 for 2. Ball one from McClellan.
Sure would be nice to get that run right back after the leadoff double. McClellan, who spent the bulk of the year in the rotation, he made 17 starts, then moved to the bullpen when the Cardinals acquired Edwin Jackson at the trade deadline. See how close it comes to being a home run, and then off that side wall, and a little bit of this, a little bit of that. McClellan, not an overpowering guy. He has the repertoire of a starting pitcher. It's fastball, cutter, curveball, changeup. Needs to use all of his pitches to be effective.
Wandy with the 11 hits takes over the lead on pitching staff. Now we're told that Furcal seemed to come up lame on that double play ball hit by Freese at the top of the inning. So that would explain the double switch. McClellan has started 3 times against the Astros this year, and he won all 3. There goes foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bourgeois has been bothered by a left wrist, which he tweaked several days ago. He missed taking batting practice for a few days. Hitting .297. Anybody that close would love to wind up at 300 for a final batting average. Little roller out to the mound. McClellan. Whoa, he almost wasted too much time. 1 out.
And almost got his first baseman hurt. Now let's take a look back at that play, and we'll see what happens with Furcal on this double play ball. He's moving from first to second, and then as he bails out, you see the little hop.
Yeah.
Yep. Something grabbed him.
Angel Sanchez has struck out both times tonight. McClellan throws the curve, and it's strike 1. McClellan is a native of the St. Louis area, from Florissant, a suburb of St. Louis. 27 years old. 25th round pick in 02. Left hamstring is what we're hearing for the injury on Furcal. Roll to third. Freeze. Straightens up and throws over to Pujols to get Sanchez. 2 down now. Cardinals starting pitching as far as ERA goes about in the middle of the pack. 3.79 ERA, ranking 7th in the National League. JD Martinez has flied to left and grounded back to the pitcher. This Astros team has an average age of 27.131. Second youngest team in the majors. Kansas City is the only team younger.
Kansas City's perpetually young.
Yeah.
The youth movement is a good thing, but sooner or later you want it to be a good movement.
Mm-hmm. Phillies 4, Atlanta 2, middle of the 8th.
Anybody can get younger.
Yeah.
Challenge is to get better.
Well, let's try it then, JD. Well, you're not that old. You don't have to worry about it.
It's true. Not anybody can get younger. Any baseball team
okay.
can end up with a younger roster.
1 ball, 2 strikes. They're in the top of the 8th inning in Atlanta now. Savory pitched to one batter and got him out. Then Michael Stutz came in after that.
Too bad he couldn't throw to the former catcher Rick Sweet.
Savory and
Savory, yeah. Be a good battery.
Nice. That'll go foul. Still a 1 ball, 2 strike count.
He's the winner of the Fernando Valenzuela lookalike contest in the house tonight. Leaving his feet to make a play.
Bad. Solid glove work there. Now up the middle and into center field. Wandy Rodriguez is going to be stopped. Jay fires into Pujols. Even with 2 outs, it's tough to send a pitcher.
Yeah, unless it's somebody fleet of foot, like myself, for example.
Yeah. You could have scored on that.
Of course, Wandy just dead still out there with his lead, no secondary whatsoever. Got other things on his mind.
Yeah.
That ball, let me see. The universe of pitchers that have played for the Astros. Mike Hampton scores.
Brandon Backey.
Brandon Backey scores. Or at least they try to score, those 2.
After that, not sure.
That's about it, huh?
Martinez comes out. Looks like he's hurting. Jordan Schaefer's going in to run for him.
Got on top of that high fastball nicely. Well, he fouled that ball off his foot earlier. I wonder if that's causing the problem.
Yeah, you're right. That's probably it. Schaefer's a pinch runner now for Martinez.
I think who else? What other athletic pitchers have we had here?
Let's see. Danny Darwin wasn't that fast.
No, gosh, no. He would have ran the wrong way. Noli couldn't run. The guys in my era, nobody I can think of.
Hampton definitely, though.
Yeah. Hampton might have been the best athlete on the team.
Yeah.
And there are any number of guys that are, if they're tuning in, they're like, I would have.
Right.
If Shane's watching, he's saying, I would have scored on that.
Shane, yeah. J.R. Richards saying he would have scored on it. Once JR got moving, like scoring from first on a double, something like that, he could motor pretty well with those long strides. 3-0 to Carlos Lee.
Red light, red light, red light, green light. No part of it.
Well, Carlos walks and the bases are loaded now for Matt Downs. Second walk drawn by the Astros. They are last in the league in drawing bases on balls. Downs ripped a 2-run homer in the 4th. Garcia in 4 innings allowed 4 hits, 4 runs, walking 1, fanning 5.
Big AB coming here. Really grow this lead. Phillies have added another one, lead Atlanta 4-2 now in the 8th. Same score in Tampa Bay with the Rays over the Yankees.
Downs takes ball 1.
Baltimore has opened up a 6-2 lead over Boston, who is getting fun in the American League.
You know it. Brad Lidge is in the game now for the Phillies in Atlanta. Second baseman calling, Ryan Theriot underneath it. And the pop-up for McClellan ends the Astros 5th inning with no runs, 2 hits, 3 men stranded. A threat turned away, 4-2 Houston.
Everybody on by Gullo Automotive, treating you like family. And by Jack in the Box. For a limited time, Jack's really big chicken combo is back for only $3.99 plus tax at participating restaurants.
Minute Maid Park, and the Astros are trying to do a job here on the Cardinals and deal them a setback. Jason Bourgeois has moved from center field to left field. Jordan Schaefer came in to pitch run for the left fielder, J.D. Martinez. He is the center fielder now. Martinez leaving with an injury, probably that foot after fouling the ball off the foot earlier in this game. Meanwhile, Wandy Rodriguez had a leadoff double in the 5th inning, but was stranded at 3rd as the Astros had that bases loaded opportunity. But McClellan got a big out on Downs.
Yeah, the 5th inning is very frustrating for both clubs. The Cardinals had bases loaded, nobody out, with a second-hole hitter Freeze up, and then Pujols and Holiday to follow. Freeze grounded into a double play. Pujols punched out. Wandy allowed just the 1 run. This Astro leads holds up. That inning will haunt the Cardinals tonight.
Holiday's 2 for 2 with an RBI. Right to Sanchez. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the 6th for Wandy. Mitchell Boggs is warming up in the Cardinal bullpen. Lance Berkman, the batter. He's 0 for 2. Ripped a liner caught by Chris Johnson at 3rd and hit a fly ball to center. Lance has been greeted by nice rounds of applause as he's come back. Got quite an ovation his first time back in a visiting uniform earlier this year. Lance has had some difficulties with his right shoulder this year. He's had to sit out some games with that injury. There's strike 1 to him. Lance 35 years old now. It's a 1-1 count.
Show up in the MVP voting in the top 10, maybe top 5 with the year he's had.
This was his 6th All-Star year.
Would have to make him one of the leading candidates for that Comeback Player of the Year award that they give.
True. Orioles 6, Red Sox 2. They've played 7 in Baltimore. Robert Andino hit his 5th homer.
He just broke their heart the other day.
Yeah, that's
Andino.
true. That's true.
And I hate that guy in Boston.
It's going to be a long off season if they don't make the playoffs.
He won't rise to the level of Aaron Boone, but still, that could be big Andino fans.
Now 3 balls, 2 strikes. Tommy Hunter started that game for the Orioles. He gave up 1 earned run in 5 innings. Troy Patton worked an inning and 2/3 in relief. Beckett went 6 innings, allowing 6 earned runs for Boston. Ground ball third. Chris Johnson.
It's a little gimpy going down the line.
Yeah, he's just barely moving.
Hit the ball hard. Pretty well all 3 times up tonight, but nothing to show for it.
See what's going on in the MVP final 3-game series of the year. Well, Matt Kemp probably is not going to get the batting title. He's 9 points behind Ryan Braun, but a serious bid for a triple crown by Mr. Kemp.
Yeah, for me it's Kemp or Braun. Not to dismiss what the big fella's done.
Yadier Molina just took that pitch. Ball 1 to Molina. He's walked twice. Fouls that away, and it's a 1-1 strike count.
Ted Williams twice won the Triple Crown, but did not win the MVP.
Saw that today.
Lesson there: be nicer to the writers.
Yeah. Yeah, he was no writer's favorite. Sanchez there. 3 ground ball outs in the 6th inning for Wandy Rodriguez, and the Astros lead it 4-2. Now at Minute Maid Park, it'll be Johnson, Barmes, and Tolles due up, and pitcher number 3 is warming up. Mitchell Boggs. He's 2-3, 1 hold, and a 3.66 ERA.
One scoreless inning for Kyle McClellan, albeit a dangerous one. He left the bases loaded, but bottom line is he was able to post a 0, and that's what matters most to Tony La Russa right now. So passes the baton on to Mitchell Boggs. He works for the 50th time. He's pitched to a 3.66 ERA. He's allowed 4 long ones. League gets 2.72 against Boggs.
He's been hit hard by the Astros this year. He is 0-2, one save in 3 games. He's given up 11 hits in 3 2/3 innings and 3 earned runs. Chris Johnson first up. He has struck out both times. Swings at that one in on him, and it's strike 1. Boggs a 5th round St. Louis pick in 05. Throws a strike there, and he's in front 0-2.
He can chunk that apple in there.
Yeah.
He'll give you the old radio ball.
Radio ball?
Here, but you can't see it.
No balls, 2 strikes. What are some of the other favorite phrases that you've heard for a pitcher who can really throw hard? Well, there's the old, he could throw it through a car wash without it getting wet.
You can throw a strawberry through a moving train.
Struck him out.
Oh, that's a three-peat for CJ.
Yes, it is. Glenn Barmas single to right field in the 3rd inning, coming around to score on a Wandy Rodriguez bunt, and he struck out in the 4th. 4-2 Tampa Bay leading the Yankees, batting in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Just got one more, Brownie.
Okay. That could be big. A Yankee attack.
There's probably 17,000 going crazy in Tampa tonight watching that one.
Yeah, that's usually about what they get when they're in a very good pennant race. Complete game, James Shields has gone 7 so far, giving up 6 hits and 2 runs.
There may be 30,000 Yankee fans there.
Tossed first, 2 outs.
All the Rays fans hit the early bird dinner. Settled into bed to turn the TV on to catch the game.
2 down, and it's J.R. Tolles. Reached on an infield hit in the 3rd and came around to score on a Jason Bourgeois single. Then in the 4th inning, he grounded out to short.
It's an easy team to cheer for, though, isn't it, Tampa Bay?
Oh,
playing in that bad ballpark and with the payroll constraints that they have.
Underdogs.
Those neat personalities. Joe Madden, one of the really fun guys in the game, managing that club.
Sure is.
See when he did his press conference with the Buccaneer football helmet on?
No.
Yeah, a while back. Apparently all the Tampa Bay, the football coaches all wear Rays hats, or at times do. So he promised that if they ever the next time they swept a home series, he would do the press conference, post-game conference in a helmet.
Grounded to short, and that's out number 3. We move to the 7th inning. The Astros are up by 2, 4-2.
2011 season, so you can already start planning for the 2012 season. 2012 is the Astros' 50th anniversary, which will be presented by the Methodist Hospital System as we celebrate the first 50 years. Season tickets are on sale now. Lock in great prices and benefits by purchasing early. You can visit Astros.com for details. They're doing some planning all over baseball because the 50th anniversary, of course, next year will include opening weekend, 50th anniversary promotional items, pregame ceremonies, flashback Fridays. They'll wear throwback jerseys every Friday. Alumni will throw out first pitches. Astros' all-time 25-man roster will be determined. There'll be some complaints, of course, and some controversy, but it'll be a lot of fun next year as the Astros celebrate the first 50 years they've played in the major leagues, the National League.
Ryan Theriot taking strike one. He's 0 for 2. Now a shot up the middle gives him a single, leading off the 7th inning with the Astros up by a couple. And now John Jay will come to the plate.
Wandy's dodged some bullets tonight. He's not been his sharpest, but that's really what defines a winning pitcher. A guy can go out there and not have his A game, but still win. He's in position to do that, even though he's had a lot of base runners.
Jay hit a double to left field off the wall in the 5th inning and came home to score on a double play. He's 1 for 2. Punto's on deck. That's strike one. Check swing call. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Pittsburgh 4, Milwaukee 3. They played 4 at Miller Park, where the Brewers have been absolutely sensational. 55 and 23. Shot into left field.
Here we go again.
First and second, nobody out, and Jay's 2 for 3.
Boy, nice approach there by Jay. Left-handed hitter against a left-handed pitcher. Not trying to pull him. Staying on the ball. That's Tony Gwynn-like right there.
Yeah. Jose Oquendo grabbed a little bit of Nick Punto and whispered something in his ear.
He's named after the Chief Justice, but he'd rather be compared to Tony Gwynn.
So Oquendo now, he comes back and says some more to Punto. If they can bunt these 2 runners into scoring position, they could tie this game with a single. Brad Mills is on his way out. Tony Cruz, Alan Craig is coming out now. And that would be for the pitcher, who's due up after Punto. Meanwhile, the Astros get the bullpen going. Mark Melanson may become a father after this game tonight. We were hearing from Brad Mills that his wife Mary Catherine is going to be induced late tonight. Wandy with 6 innings of solid baseball, allowing 8 hits, 2 runs, has walked 3 and fanned 2. Wilton Lopez is warming up. And now it's Punto. Punto, a switch hitter. 256 right-handed. Carlos Lee's in looking for a bunt. Punto does bunt. J.R. Tolles going to Angel Sanchez, and the sacrifice works. We're out number 1. Now it's a pinch hitter, Craig.
Ideally, you want to get that ball down the third base line, but bottom line is if you put it out there where Punto did, you're going to get the job done.
Wandy's throwing 102 pitches. Craig announced as a pinch hitter for Boggs. Boggs had a 1-2-3 6th inning with a strikeout. Alan Craig 7 for 21 as a pinch hitter, 1 homer, 4 runs batted in. He's having a nice year. 191 at bats, a 309 average, 9 homers, 35 runs batted in. That gives him an OPS of better than 870, about 880. Craig, 524 slugging percentage for Allen.
A good hitter, and probably a little bit disappointed when they re-signed Lance Berkman, because that's where he was going to get his playing time in the outfield.
Yeah. Well, he might still if Albert Pujols leaves, but many think the Cardinals will work it out with Albert. Wilton Lopez has been warming up. Brad Mills wants to make a move right here. 4-2 Houston. Back in a moment.
Mr. Lopez can keep those tying runs from scoring with one out. Let's go back upstairs to Bill Brown, Jim DeShays.
Wilton Lopez comes in to try to bail out the Astros with this second and third one out situation. In 71 games, he's 2-6, 13 holds, and a 2.86 ERA.
A win for Wandy Rodriguez hangs in the balance, and postseason implications for sure for the Cardinals. So a big at bat here for Alan Craig. The base hit could tie the ball game. Wilton has come in with 32 men on base this year. Half of them have scored.
It's a foul ground ball. There's strike one. It can go a couple of ways, of course. He gets a lot of ground balls. So if it's a double play situation, he can get 2 outs with 1 pitch. But the Cardinals have moved the runners with that sacrifice bunt. So they are positioned to be able to tie this game on a single. It's in for a strike, and it's 0-2 to Alan Craig. Craig, an 8th round pick in 06 by the Redbirds. And there you see the inherited runners for Lopez, 16 of 32.
Much better in that department last year, but not every inherited runner is equal. You know, a lot of times it depends on the situations you come in, who the hitters are you're facing.
Craig puts it in the air, foul. Carlos Lee up the line over toward the stands, and he won't get it.
You come in with 2 outs with a man on first base. It's pretty easy to prevent that run from scoring. You come in with the bases juiced and nobody out, you're likely to give up some inherited runners. So you really have to do a lot of research to really break it down. But the bottom line is his numbers this year very similar to last year. He's walked a few more.
His last outing was Thursday against the Rockies. He held on to a 2-run lead in the 8th. Low pitch. The final now, Philadelphia has knocked off Atlanta 4-2. So the Cardinals have an opening to tie for the wild card lead. Ryan Madsen came in the bottom of the 9th. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Alan Craig hurt his right knee down the right field corner back in June when the Cardinals were here. That put him out for a while. Pujols with a bat on the bench. Cardinals have more hits than the Astros, 8-6. No errors in the game. Each club has left 4. Paid attendance 20,017.
Freddie Gonzalez, his staff, his players, they are huge Astro fans right now.
Bet. Left foot contusion is what caused J.D. Martinez to leave the game. Crack bat roll. That's what you speculated about the foul ball off his left foot earlier after he singled in the 5th. Must have really been bothering him quite a bit.
So you can hear a little smattering of applause now as the Cardinal fans in attendance see that final going up from Atlanta.
If the Cardinals and Braves tie for the wild card lead, they will have a 1-game playoff Thursday in St. Louis. Detroit pounded Cleveland 14-0. Fister the winner. He's now 11-13, but his ERA is 2.83.
So I don't think the Cardinals should get to host that game. I think that should be a neutral site game.
Okay.
Play it here.
Good idea. Crack bat. Back to Lopez, and he takes care of the second out. And David Freese will bat next. Freese 1 for 3, scored a run in the 3rd.
And movement in on the hands, right in on the knuckles of Alan Craig, inducing that weak little comebacker to the mound. Descalzo is going to hit now, left-handed hitter.
Freese was 1 for 3. Descalzo coming up here as the pinch hitter, giving Tony La Russa a left-handed bat, and he is 1 for 2 against Lopez.
You got to put him on here, right? Pitch to the right-handed hitter.
No.
At the Pujols on deck. Pujols, number 5. No.
No thanks.
Come on, you got to play the percentages.
Well, let's not. Descalzo is 5 for 20 as a pinch hitter, and he's driven in a couple.
JR told I'd step out, put my glove out just for fun. Just to see the reaction of Brad Mills would come flying out of that dugout and just body slam him.
Strike 1 to Descalzo over his last 11.
Heroic swing there. Descalzo selling out on a fastball, and Wilton countered with a slider, took a little off and had him way out in front. That's the challenge for all of these guys, the Cardinals, the Braves, the Rays, and the Red Sox. Boy, you really got to fight to kind of keep it focused on just the moment, not get caught up in all that's at stake in each at bat.
1-1.
I'm going to be the hero. I'm going to take the big swing. You just got to take the same approach now that you would take on June 10th.
That is a challenge. You're right.
Yeah, look for a pitch you can handle, hit it hard. That's what you hear hitters say all the time. But in these games, and again for the Cardinals, this is like a playoff game.
Scalzo's hitting .276 against Houston. He's driven in 5 and 29 at bats. How's that one? And it's a 1-ball, 2-strike count. The Cardinals as a team are hitting .287 with runners in scoring position.
I think the other thing you have to do when you hit in front of Albert Pujols, you have to fight the temptation to think, well, he's going to come right after me because Albert's on deck, so I'm going to be hacking. You still have to make sure you get strikes.
2-2. Wandy Rodriguez hoping Lopez can put out the fire here in the 7th inning. His bid for win number 12.
He cannot lose this game, so he'll at least finish at 500, perhaps a game better.
Scalzo rolls it to lead. Tossing to Lopez. to end the top of the 7th. No runs, 2 hits, 2 runners left in scoring position. 4-2 Houston in the 7th. Enjoying the 7th inning stretch. A ball game to savor, some food, perhaps a little drink, and we'll see what the bottom of the 7th reveals. Daniel Descalzo has come in to pinch hit for David Freese. Now he stays in to play third. So we have a new left side of the infield since this game started. Rafael Furcal left with a leg injury, and Nick Punto took over at shortstop. Fernando Salas with 5 wins, 6 losses, has 24 saves and 30 opportunities.
Hard thrower, averaging a strikeout per inning pitch, and the league hitting just 188 against him. Blew his 6th save last time out against the Mets a few days back.
J.B. Shuck is the pinch hitter for Lopez. And there's strike 1. Wandy Rodriguez in 6 1/3 innings allowed 8 hits, 2 runs, walking 3, fanning 2. Lopez 2/3 of an inning, no hits, no runs, no walks or strikeouts. And Shuck tries to get the Astros started towards some more offense here in this 4-2 game. And loops a liner into shallow center for a hit. It's past Terrio. Terrio looked back at Nick Punto, indicating he wanted some coverage at second base there. And another pinch hit for Shuck. He's been very good coming off the bench.
Boy, he got a nice pitch, tough pitch too. A changeup moving down and away from him, and he was out on that front foot, but kept the hands back and just flipped that ball into shallow center. Astros went quietly in the 6th, 1-2-3 against Mitchell Boggs after leaving the bases loaded in the 5th.
Shuck takes his lead. Jason Bourgeois is 1 for 3 with an RBI. Shuck now 4 for 11 pinch hitting. JB's 2 for 2 in steals.
Cardinals employed a bunt in the 7th with 1st and 2nd, nobody out. Punto got the bunt down, got the men over, but a couple of ground outs. The Cardinals couldn't get him home. See what Brad Mills does here in this situation.
Salas teams the throw over. Salas has pitched well against the Astros. He's 4 for 4 in saves against Houston. And in 5 appearances, he's given up 1 run in 6 1/3 innings this year. He was closing for a while. Lately, it's been Jason Mott. Cardinals have been through some different closers this year.
From Huatabampo, Mexico. I have no idea if I'm saying that properly. Huatabampo.
We have a rarity. Garcia, the starter, was born in Mexico. And now pitcher number 4 in the game for the Redbirds, also from that country. Stolen base here in a 4-2 game could be significant. Yadier Molina has not thrown as well this year. 25% of the time he's gunned down the base runners trying to steal. 15 for 59. Sanchez on deck. Up around the shoulder of Bourgeois.
To me, like Salas got a little too much attention focused on first base.
Molina goes out, perhaps to tell him that very thing. The Astros have 6 steals and 11 tries against the Cardinals. Their running game is important to them, but with Molina, he really can neutralize that running game. Red Sox are batting, top of the 9th inning, trailing 6-2 at Baltimore. Jim Johnson in the game for the Orioles. Tampa Bay 5-2 over the Yankees. The Yankees are batting also in the top of the 9th. 2 balls, 1 strike.
I'm going to guess that complete game James Shields is still in the ball game.
Let's see. Nope. Kyle Farnsworth. And he's been bothered by a tender elbow the last few days too.
Well, he went 8 2/3.
Okay, that's close enough.
Come on, James, go the distance, man.
He whipped out. Runner going, and it's foul back. So 2-1 count. Shuck took off. And now 2-2 to Bourgeois. Cincinnati leads the Mets 6-5. They're in the top of the 9th in New York. Chris Heisey hit his 18th. Up the middle, he gets by the pitcher, but look at this for a double play. Well, that one led Terrio right to second base, and he turns a 4-3 double play. Good thing Salas didn't touch it. St. Louis, anyway.
Yeah, and kind of a silly attempt too. You know, just flailing at it the way he did on a ball not that sharply hit. He's very fortunate he didn't make contact.
It's hard to make plays with your back to the ball. Sanchez the batter now. Fly ball going to shallow right field. Berkman coming in. And in the 7th, it's no runs a hit, nobody left after 7, 4-2 Astros.
Season on Fox and TBS. The excitement begins September 30th with the Division Series on TBS. Or will it? It might start earlier because there might have to be some playoffs for the wild card because we take a look at the American League, how tight that is. Now, one loss by the Angels and they're done. They're running out of games. But the real battle is between Boston and Baltimore, top of the 9th. Actually, Boston has scored and they have 2 runners on. in that game, but Tampa Bay has already won, so the pressure's on. If Boston doesn't rally, they will be tied for the top spot with 2 games left. Wow.
1 run in for the Red Sox, trailing by 3. Runners at first and second, 1 out. Jim Johnson pitching to Adrian Gonzalez.
They got the right guy up.
Oh, yes, they do. Fernando Rodriguez with a 2-3 record, 6 holds and a 3.16 ERA, comes in to work the 8th.
Well, and Fernando, one of those guys lucky enough to stay out of the fray yesterday as the Astros got throttled 19-3 by the Colorado Rockies. He pitched the day before in 1 inning. He walked a couple, struck out a man, did not allow any hits or runs. That was his second appearance in that series with the Rocks. The previous one didn't go so well. He allowed 3 runs in 1 inning in that ball game.
Albert Pujols leads it off. Pujols doubled in the 3rd. He's 1 for 3. And he was thrown out at the plate for the final out of that inning by Martinez. JD putting that throw into Tolles for the tag. And it's ball 1.
Must be right. Getting ready in the Astros pen. Perhaps to turn Lance Berkman around. He's due up 3rd this inning.
Bouncer and on through into left field. Pujols is 2 for 4. Now Holiday.
We've got CJ coming and going. He went down the line beyond his reach. This time he pushes one through the hole between 3rd and short.
Hit number 9 for the Cardinals. Coming for Pujols. Now Holiday with a double and an RBI single in 3 trips.
4th time the Cardinals have had leadoff man reach tonight.
Ball 1 to Holiday. 328. Lifetime hitter against Houston.
They've only been able to bring that leadoff man around 1 time.
1-1.
Fernando's going to give you a fastball 92 to 94 miles an hour, mostly straight, comes right over the top with 4 seamers and a good sharp breaking ball.
Fernando's 1-0 against the Cardinals. He's allowed 3 runs in 5 innings this year. Almost clipped him, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Like the fastball's getting away from him a little bit tonight. He came in with a game tied 2-2 in the 11th inning Saturday night. Pitched a hitless inning. This ball there works, and it's 2-2.
This one at 94, and Holiday's just a little tardy.
Fernando won a game in St. Louis July 27th, coming in with a tie score in the 7th inning, working 2 scoreless frames. He has 10 strikeouts in his last 6 1/3 innings. Now 3-2 as he misses up and in again. And Berkman is waiting. Ball 4. 2 men on, nobody out for Berkman. Now with that Tampa Bay win over the Yankees 5-2, and Baltimore has beaten Boston 6-3. It is a dead heat for the AL wild card.
How about that? Tampa coming all the way back. Not long ago they were 9 games behind the Red Sox. In fact, the 1st of September, the Red Sox, I think, were in first place, or at least at some point late in August, Red Sox were ahead of the Yankees.
Yep.
But, boy, they've been free fall. Come on, Angels. Get in there, too.
Yeah.
Make it a three-way tie. Make it real interesting.
Now Brad Mills is coming out with Berkman ready to hit, and apparently to turn him around with a lefty, Wesley Wright. We'll be right back with a score of 4-2 Houston. Runners at first and second, nobody out in the 8th inning. Lance Berkman had homered here in June off Fernando Rodriguez, who has now left the game, and Berkman will be batting instead against Wesley Wright, who has just been sensational. He has not allowed a run in his last 17 appearances. The runners inherited are more of concern right now, but his ERA is 0.77.
Again, the Cardinals with another opportunity, and they've let some go by the boards already tonight. So big at bat coming here for Lance Berkman. Wesley, left-handed hitters, just 1 for 26 against him this year. He's not had that many confrontations with right-handed hitters. 9 at bats. They've got 2 hits, a .222 batting average. One of those 2 hits was a home run. So he's been used primarily as a lefty specialist and has really done a great job shutting down left-handed hitters. This time it's to turn Berkman around to his weaker side. But as we mentioned earlier in the ballgame, Lance a lot better from the right side this year than he has been in recent seasons.
He has a .454 slugging percentage as a right-handed batter. That's not too shabby.
And 3 at bats on the right side tonight, 0 for 3, but some good swings. In particular, his first at bat when he hit a rocket down the line, CJ made a play on him.
Fouls it away. There's strike 1. So these 2 former teammates square off with a game on the line, and a lot of implications here for the Cardinals. Wesley Wright worked Saturday night in the 13-inning game and worked 2/3 of an inning, gave up no hits, no runs.
He has some deception in his delivery. That was a 90-mile-an-hour fastball right over the heart of the plate, and Lance was behind him.
Runners take off. Here's a throw to third from Toles. Double steal. Pujols steals third, and Holiday steals second. The pitch was strike 2.
Daring baseball here by the Cardinals with the double steal. Pujols clearly safe. A late hard slide. The only question was, would he be able to stay on the bag? Now a base hit could tie the game. Takes the double play out of order, gives the Cardinals 3 cracks at tying the game with a base hit.
Correcting that count to 1-1 now. And a drive to left field. Bourgeois got turned around. It's off the base of the wall. That'll tie it. Kicks back toward the infield. Berkman in with a 2-run double. And Lance Berkman has driven in 14 runs against the Astros this year. Wesley Wright had not allowed an inherited runner to score this year. All 16 have been stranded until this.
Great swing of the bat. We talked about it. Berkman having good at-bats all night long. A little behind that initial fastball. And a stolen base takes the ball just off the edge. And this is a breaking ball hanger. He really did him a favor. Just floated a breaking ball up there about letter high. And nobody was going to make a play on that one.
Now the Cardinals have stormed back to tie it. Berkman at second. Nobody out in the 8th inning. Brad Mills with another change. And Ario Del Rosario coming in for 4. Back in a moment. Again.
Yeah, it looked like they were just trying to throw him a backdoor breaking ball, and Wesley didn't get through it, left it up. And Lance taking advantage after the double steal. The Cardinals play 2 to tie the ball game, so it's a no decision for Wandy Rodriguez, who will end his season with an 11-11 record. Cardinals have not done a lot of base running this year. They don't steal a lot of bases, but they picked an opportune time there to turn a couple of guys loose.
14 runs batted in against Houston. He's driven in 93 this year.
Keep your eye on Puma. He might be feeling his oats out there. Be a low percentage play to try with nobody out.
Molina showing signs of trying to bunt him over to third. Ball 1 to Molina. And Ario Del Rosario, pitcher number 5 in the game. 5 sacrifice bunts for Molina.
Yeah, you'd love to aggressively defend this and take a shot at Lance at third base if you can, but if you move too early in the infield, Molina pulls the bat back, he's going to have wide open spaces to try to chop the ball through.
2-0. Del Rosario pitched Saturday night, 1/3 of an inning against the Rockies in the 13-inning game. Didn't give up a run. Pitched 4 times against the Redbirds, allowing 4 earned runs in 4 2/3 innings this year. Molina again showing bunt, but he hasn't seen a pitch to bunt yet. It's 3-0.
Jose Kendo getting some guidance from Tony La Russa in the dugout, and then a chat with Molina. You would think straight take here, but the fact that they're having a conversation, they're going to give him a green light.
Terrio's on deck.
Molina's trying to call a balk. Or he's just afraid if he's going to be quick pitched. I'm not sure, but he went in panic mode there.
Backing out, he takes ball 4. Well, 4 straight Cardinals have reached here in the 8th inning.
Ontario will be asked to drop down a bunt.
Ontario 1 for 3.
To that end, with Berkman being the most important base runner out there, that walk doesn't really kill you because now you've got a force play at third base, and it's easier to get the out on the force play than when you have to make a tag.
And we're going to get a pinch runner for Berkman. Adron Chambers.
Well, Tony La Russa goes for a little extra speed in this situation, but he takes a very dangerous bat out of the lineup if this thing goes extra innings. That's the trade-off.
That's the visiting team fans cheering Lance Berkman at Minute Maid Park.
A lot of meetings. A lot of meetings here.
Chambers coming over to talk with Jose Oquendo. And it's Terrio up there to bunt. Terrio has 5 sacrifices. Nobody out. Foul ball. Hit him in the box, so it's 0-1. Fernando Rodriguez, no innings pitched, 1 hit, 2 runs allowed, 1 walk, no strikeouts.
Situation here, if you're Ryan Terrio, you want to make sure you get the bunt down, not be in too big of a hurry to get out of the batter's box. You're not bunting for a base hit here, you're just trying to push these runners along.
Bunted to third. Steered to Chris Johnson.
Pretty much perfectly done there by Terrio.
5-4 sacrifice by Terrio. Chambers to third, Molina to second, 1 out. Now John Jay, who's 2 for 3.
Astros will pull the infield in.
Jay doubled off the left field wall in the 5th off Wandy Rodriguez, and in the 7th inning he singled through the left side. He is 2 for 3 against Rosario. Punto on deck. And that's ball 1. Astros bullpen performed well in the 13-inning game against Colorado Saturday night, but has the highest ERA in the National League, 4.40. Fouled away, and it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. In the Philadelphia win 4-2 in Atlanta, Cliff Lee went to 17-8 with a victory. Ryan Madson got his 32nd save, and the loss went to reliever Christian Martinez. He's 1-3. Popped up. Farmer's backpedaling.
That's huge.
2 outs.
Negates the bunt right there. And Cardinals did it too. They sacrificed in the 7th with runners on first and second, nobody out. Got the bunt down, but then a couple of weak ground balls ended the inning. That's the key guy in that situation, the guy who comes up immediately after the sacrifice because the infield's pulled in. The odds shift in his favor. It didn't work out. Now the infield backs up and it falls to Nick Punto.
Punto put down that sac bunt in the 7th. Ground ball, Carlos Lee drops it, now he can't find it, and the late throw to first in time. Oh, what a call at first.
How do you like that, Freddie Gonzalez?
Oh, Punto looking up at Dana Demuth, who called him out.
He shouldn't have dove. He runs through the bag. I think he beats the play.
Let's see it.
Out.
Out. 4-4. Astros will have Schaefer, Lee, and Downs due up, but let's look back at that last play in the top of the 8th.
Yeah, Carlos clanks it, but is able to recover just in the nick punto of time to make the play at first base to EDR, who stayed with the play. And again, if Punto runs through the bag, I think he beats it.
Yeah. You can see his full body sliding, and that creates a drag. It slows him down a little bit. Probably cost him. And now Schaefer leading it off. Shows bunt, takes strike one. First time up for Jordan. He went in to play the outfield for the injured J.D. Martinez. Pinch ran for him in the 5th inning. First of all, 243, 2 homers, 13 runs batted in for Schaefer, the former Brave. No balls, 2 strikes. Former Brave can now help the Braves.
He really wants to win this to get a little of that playoff money, get a little share.
There is some incentive for Mr. Schaefer.
Should have been the battle cry in the Astros clubhouse today. Win it for Schaefer.
1-2. Traded in the Michael Bourne deal.
Think he got some text messages from the old Brave mates?
You know he did. He's hit 248 in a Houston uniform and 105 at bats. Salas missing there, and it's 2-2.
Chipper probably texted him and offered reward money. Hey, anybody drives in a run, send him a new driver or something.
Carlos Lee's on deck. Matt Downs due up third. Popped up. Descalzo comes over. 1 out for Salas in his 2nd inning of work.
It's interesting. It would have been fun to play in the era. You know, that's not like an old goat, but we didn't have cell phones back in the day when I was playing. It would have been fun to communicate with ex-teammates around the league.
Yeah.
That technology.
Carlos Lee has walked twice and scored. He's 0 for 1. Carlos driven in 699 runs since 05. That's 3rd best in the National League.
We had to send stamped letters by messenger. You melt the wax on the. Give it to your horseman. Take this to Philadelphia.
James Shields won his 16th in that Tampa Bay victory over the Yankees, 5-2, beating Hector Noesi. Kyle Farnsworth got save number 24.
To say that the Cardinal outfielders are deep would be to say that Yao Ming is rather tall. They are way back there. No doubles mode.
Chambers in right field after pinch running for Berkman. Two balls and a strike. Logan Andrusek picked up the win for Cincinnati, 6-5 over the Mets. Tim Burdack lost it with the save from Francisco Cordero, his 36th.
How good is that pitch?
He's a breaking ball there.
Yeah. Settling right on the outside corner. Good tight overspin. I think it throws a little bit of a spike curve ball. Change up.
2 outs. Strikeout number 1 for Salas tonight.
Not in the best of spots, but some funky action. 84 miles an hour, and Carlos out in front.
Matt Downs might see some of that too, the way he hits fastballs. He hit a 2-run homer in the 4th inning. He's 1 for 3. Chris Johnson on deck. In the dirt, ball 1.
The problem with Downs being a good fastball hitter, so you're a little gun shy. But if you don't get that first pitch breaking ball over, you start putting yourself into a situation where you might have to come in with a fastball. And all hitters are a whole lot better on 2-0 heaters than they are on 0-0 fastballs. But Salas able to get back into the count with a good breaking ball that time to even things up.
Well, that's the important one too when you're behind 1-0, JD. Be able to throw that next one.
Yeah, and what it does is it gets the hitter off the fastball a little bit. It gets him thinking more about the breaking ball. And even though Downs likes to hit the heater, he has to respect your ability to throw the curveball. So you might catch him a little bit behind the fastball.
Bouncer goes foul, and it's 2-2 to Downs. Troy Patton of Tomball got the win for Baltimore over Boston 6-3. Josh Beckett of Spring, the loser. Beckett 13-7 with a 2.89 ERA. Strike 3, and that ends the 8th inning with the score tied. Cardinals 4, Astros 4, moving to the 9th.
Postseason with the MLB.com at-bat 11 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, or BlackBerry. Get live audio, pitch-by-pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text at-bat to 31826 or visit Astros.com for details. If you sign up for next year, of course, you'll be able to follow all of the 2012 season on your MLB at-bat app. Some of those people may be doing that right now to keep up with what's going elsewhere. Right now, there we got a pitcher who's got a story, Brownie.
Well, he does. Mark Melanson, the Astros closer, has a story of very good work lately. He's 7-4 with 20 saves and 25 opportunities. His ERA has fallen to 2.86 because opponents have gone 1 for 30 in his last 10 appearances. Just spectacular work for Melanson. His last work Thursday against Colorado, 1 hitless inning. And so 8 2/3 innings, 1 hit, no runs for his last 9 games. And his wife is about to give birth to a child that's supposed to be induced later on tonight.
He's been unbelievable. He's had command of all of his pitches. Fastball, cutter, curveball. He's just seemingly able to put each and every one of them exactly where he wants to almost every time. Last 10 outings, just that 1 hit, a couple of walks, 13 punch outs.
Skip Schumacher, very good numbers as a pinch hitter, 6 for 13 with 2 runs batted in. Is the batter for Salas, leading it off here in the 9th inning. Schumacher looks at ball 1. Salas at 2 innings allowed the Astros 1 hit, no runs. He had no walks and struck out 2. Faced the minimum 6 thanks to a double play ball. Bouncer, and Sanchez tracks it to his left. Flip over, 1 out. The Astros have Johnson, Barmas, and Tolles due up in the last of the 9th. Daniel Descalzo grounded out in the 7th inning in his first at bat, taking over at third for David Freese. Tony La Russa using his bench liberally tonight. Brought 6 guys off the bench in this game. He had the injury to Furcal, which forced him out. There's ball one. Albert Pujols is on deck. Breaking pitch just off the plate makes it 2-0. It must seem to fans of the Astros down through the last 11 years that Albert Pujols is on deck about every other inning here.
Yeah, I think that's everywhere in the National League. There's that. Oh, him again?
With a shot into center field, and Pujols will bat with a runner on. Descalzo with a single.
Over 2 for 4 tonight. Ground out double, strikeout single. Career home runs versus the Astros. Joining 3 other Hall of Famers there, Aaron McCovey and Willie Stargell.
Pujols 2 for 4 tonight, a double and a single.
Cameron Hank, stretch, and pops. He's got a nickname. Once you hit that many home runs, you get a nickname.
Oh, sure. Pujols with a deep drive to center. Jordan Schaefer, though, is underneath it now. Going back belatedly to tag at first, but it's not going to work for Descalzo. 2 outs.
That's good base running, though. The ball hit that high. You know the center fielder's going to settle under it. He's not going to drop it. Not in the big leagues. Man, once every decade or so. So the percentage play is to go ahead and tag up and maybe try to steal a base that way. That ball appeared to be right down the middle.
Matt Holliday is 2 for 3.
And that goes back to my, not that Mark necessarily wanted to throw right down the middle, but it goes back to what I was saying earlier. You're better, if you're going to do it, you're better off doing it 0-0 than 2-0 when the guy's just sitting on it.
Galloway, there's strike 1. J.R. Tolles getting his 4th start in the last 7 or 8 days.
Paul Maurer walking that ball out to Melanson to buy a little time for JR to clear the cobwebs.
Cardinals have 11 hits. The Astros have 7. No errors in the game tonight. Cardinals have stranded 8. The Astros have left 4. The Cardinals with 14 wins in their last 18 games. With a chance to tie Atlanta for the wild card lead.
Talked last inning when Lance got pinch run for that. He wouldn't be available for extra innings. But never mind extra innings. His spot's on deck right now. Should Holiday reach, it'll be Chambers, the rookie, and not Berkman.
0-2 for Melanson. And that foul ball keeps it at 0-2. Melanson worked a quick inning Saturday night as one of 9 pitchers in the 13-inning game.
And not to imply that LaRussa was wrong by pinch running for Berkman there, but that's the trade-off. That's the risk if that run doesn't come home and then that spot in the lineup comes up at a critical time. Earl Weaver, he never wanted to take his guys out of his middle of the order hitters. He didn't ever like to take them out, pinch run or defensive replacements.
Bouncer goes foul. Greg Lucas, weren't you telling us you were reading a story about The Florida Marlins, soon to become the Miami Marlins, trying to close a trade for Chicago White Sox manager Ozzie Guillen.
Yeah, it's all over Twitter tonight. It looks like it's about a done deal that he's not going to be managing the White Sox. He had a meeting with the owner today, and apparently the die was cast that he will be leaving. And White Sox, because he still has a year under his contract, want to get some compensation of some kind. So they're going to be dickering over that. But looks like he's going to be the next manager of the Marlins, especially since it's official that Jack McKeon is not coming back. That was also announced today.
The story online I'm looking at now saying 2 minor league players will go to the White Sox from the Marlins.
Broken bat roller out to second. Sanchez on to first. And in the 9th inning, it's no runs a hit, a man left for the Redbirds. Now the Astros come up in the bottom of the 9th. Chris Johnson, Clint Barmas, and J.R. Tolles, the return of the Jedi.
Houston is brought to you by the Progressive Insurance Group. For a money-saving car insurance quote, call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE today. Well, guys, we head to the bottom of the 9th in a tie game. The Astros have had 8 walk-off wins here at Minute Maid Park. They're set up for another one. Back to you.
Former Astro Octavio Dotel comes in for St. Louis. He's 3-2 in 27 games with 5 holds and a 3.18 ERA.
Octavio Dotel now 37 years of age. That'll age you a little bit. He's with the Astros 2000, 2001, 2, 3, a part of 2004. Before moving on to Oakland as part of that 3-way deal that brought Beltran to the Astros. And well-traveled since then. He's played with a lot of different clubs. He was with Toronto this year before being traded at the deadline to the Cardinals. And he's pitched well in a St. Louis uniform.
Sure has. Strike one to Chris Johnson, who's whiffed all 3 times tonight. Dotel has 2 of those scoreless outings against the Astros. One was in Toronto when he saved a 7-5 win. And then he pitched a hitless inning in St. Louis in late July. Jams in with that one, and it's no balls, 2 strikes. And here 11 years after this ballpark opened, Dotel was the first starter for the Astros against the Phillies in that first regular season game. 54-46, a 3.74 ERA, 108 saves. Brad Mills was the first base coach for the Phillies that night. And now they square off both in different uniforms with a 1-2 count on Johnson. Ball misses. It's 2-2 to CJ with Barmas on deck. Tolles due up third, then the pitcher spot. $11 hits for the Redbirds, 7 for the Astros. No errors tonight. Fouled away.
Now, it's been a very entertaining game. Well played. Missed opportunities on both sides. Interesting strategy to kind of dig into with the bunts and the pinch runners, pinch hitters. J.D. Martinez throwing Albert Pujols out at the plate early in the ball game on a 2-out send from Jose Akendo.
Loop to right field, and Chambers might have been in the lights for him. He bent down, 1 out. Playing his first game in this ballpark.
Yeah, life's got him.
Varma singled to right, took second on a wild pitch, third on a ground ball, and scored on a bunt by Wandy Rodriguez. He's 1 for 3. In the air, and that's catchable.
Yeah.
1-2 underneath it. 2 outs for Dotel.
I'm surprised to see Dotel getting outs in the air. Not really a sinker guy. Works up in the zone with the fastball. I always like when the outfielders point at the lights after they make the catch. Like somebody's going to do something about it.
Right.
Turn those off for me. I'm trying to see here.
They want everybody to know the degree of difficulty involved in that catch.
You have no idea how hard that play was.
Tolles with an infield hit, then came around to score in the 3rd inning on a Bourgeois single. He's 1 for 3. There's ball 1 with Brett Wallace on deck. Pitcher spot due up next.
Dotel's allowed 6 home runs this year, just 1 since joining the Cardinals in 22 2/3.
Almost clipped him.
He missed his spot there by about 4 feet.
Other than that, it wasn't a bad pitch, though.
It's the manager and the pitching coach's attention in the dugout. They kind of look at each other and go, wow. Doesn't really build confidence.
Dotel is kind of the, well, it's not what you call a picture book delivery, right?
Well, he throws across his body a little bit, low 3/4 arm angle. Should make him tough on right-handed hitters. Brett Wallace, left-handed hitters on deck.
Strike, and it's 3-1 for Dotel.
So I was going to argue that it wouldn't be a bad idea to give JR a swing there on 3-0, see if he could run into one and win a ball game for you.
Full count.
Probably should attack that one 3-1.
Dotel picked up 2 wins on the Cardinals' last homestand. It's been a good trade with Toronto for St. Louis. And strike 3 sends this game to extra innings. J.R. Tolles called out by Paul Nauert. Cardinals 4, Astros 4 through 9.
By Jack Link's Beef Jerky. Feed your wild side.
Well, extra innings again, Greg. You just read that on Saturday night, and we had 13 innings. The Astros' longest game of the year in innings. And they used 9 pitchers, and they lost to Colorado 4-2 in that game, which took 4 hours and 9 minutes. The Astros now for the season are 4-13 in extra innings. Cardinals are 8-12. Mark Melanson will come out for his second inning of work. He's due to lead off the bottom of the 10th. It'll be Adron Chambers to lead it off for St. Louis. Then Molina and Terrio are due up. So there's Terrio hoping to have a shot at something big here with the Cardinals and Astros tied 4-4. 11 hits for St. Louis, 7 for Houston. Cardinals have left 9 while the Astros have stranded 4. Chambers had a bases loaded pinch triple Tuesday against the Mets. 333 with 4 runs batted in.
Speed guy, 38th round pick of the Cardinals in the 07 June draft. Hit 277 at AAA Memphis this year. He did manage to hit 10 home runs, stole 22 bags.
That's strike one. He went in a pinch run for Lance Berkman in the 8th inning after Berkman tied the game 4-4 with a 2-run double. Chambers is from Pensacola, Florida. Went to Pensacola Junior College. Line to Barnes. One out for Melanson. Yadier Molina has walked 3 times and grounded out tonight. Strike one to Molina.
$2,080 RPMs on that ball. That ball was really spinning up there. Only 18, 19. Didn't have as much spin because he threw a little cutter.
Curve on him, but it missed. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. Melanson had Tommy John surgery in 06. Brandon Lyon was the Astros closer when the season started. He had to have surgery and miss a lot of the year. Line drive, left field corner. It's hooking and it's going foul.
A little scary off the bat.
Looked like it might have a shot.
Yeah, sneak into the corner of the Crawford boxes.
Possible double for Molina. Now he comes back with a 2-2 count. Texas is leading the Angels 3-0. Top of the 4th inning in Anaheim.
Angels losing, they're done, right?
Yep. Adrian Beltre hit his 31st home run. Dan Herron on the mound for the Angels against C.J. Wilson.
Well, Mark Melanson doing a good job keeping the ball out of the middle of the plate against Molina.
Foul back. Still 2-2. Well, Melanson, who began the season as a setup man, has grown into this closer's role and really putting on a nice strong finish to the season. Cardinals are 16-7 in September. They went 5-1 in their last 6 games against Milwaukee late August and September. Roller goes foul.
Brewers and the Pirates now tied 8-8 in Milwaukee after 6, and the Brewers are so good at home this year, so the home field advantage in the postseason very meaningful for that club, you would think.
Yeah. They've won 12 straight at home from Pittsburgh, and they've set a club record with those 55 wins at home.
And they always beat Pittsburgh, don't they?
Yeah.
They actually have a losing record on the road.
That's a little weird, as good as that club is.
That's the only playoff team that will have a losing record on the road.
Melanson bounced that one for ball 3, and it's a full count on Molina. Markham started for Milwaukee. He gave up 10 hits and 7 earned runs in 4 2/3 innings. Morton gave up 8 hits and 5 earned runs in 5 for the Pirates.
Molina showing outstanding patience tonight. He's walked 3 times already. Working to count full here.
He nails one foul. Alex Presley hit his 4th home run tonight for the Buccos. Ryan Braun pinch hit in that game. He got a hit and drove in a run. His batting average is .334. Matt Kemp hit a homer tonight for the Dodgers. Foul ball. Long at bat here for Molina.
Yeah.
Kemp's home run was his 38th to take over the National League lead from Albert Pujols. And the Dodgers lead at Arizona 3-0, bottom of the 6th. This will be the 10th pitch from Melanson to Molina. He pops it up, hits it out to left field. Well, it's going to carry. And at the base of the wall, Bourgeois jumping, and it's off that wall and comes back toward the infield. Boy, did that one carry, and Molina's at second base. Almost hit it into the seats.
Wow, was that close. Yeah, well, off the bat, it just looks like a lazy fly ball, but with the Crawford boxes so cozy here at Minute Maid Park, they came into play. Not tell exactly where that ball ultimately hit on the wall. Molina's given a good long look. Lucky to get stuck at first base.
Yeah. That's his 32nd double. He lifted that curveball. Looks like it hit about halfway up. Hit number 12 for the Cardinals. Now it's Terrio. Terrio 1 for 3 with a sac bunt. Melanson will throw to third and
what a brain cramp.
Yep. Thank you very much. 2 outs. Molina just took off in that ground ball back to the pitcher. And Terrio's at first with 2 down.
Ball in front of you, stay put. Ball behind you, go. But you got to make sure it clears the mound. And this is right back to the pitcher, and he thinks, well, this is behind me. The pitcher's there to cut it off. And he had the audacity to argue the call at third base.
Well,
so he's calling himself safe there.
He did.
So I'm going to get in trouble with the manager. Let me off the hook here. Call me safe.
That's John Jay, 2 for 4 tonight out of the 8 spot. Number 8 hitter hitting .298.
So the Astros play deep. And give up that go-ahead run with a double. Terrio, not a very effective base stealer. He's stolen 4 times, but he's been caught 5.
Punto's on deck. Melanson's at 26 pitches.
So after this one, he'll be done, and he might be done for tomorrow too.
Might be. Especially because he could be becoming a father in the middle of the night.
That's the good time. Just get a couple innings out of him here tonight and say thank you very much. Take tomorrow off.
Former Astro Felipe Paulino, a winner for Kansas City, 7-3 at Minnesota tonight. Two balls and a strike to John Jay. Jay's from Miami. Had a good season last year, hitting .300, so his credentials are the high batting average guys in Major League hitters so far.
A whole lot going on in the batter's box, but he's ready to hit when he needs to be. You know, waggle, waggle, crank, and go.
They're going. The throw is there. The tag by Barmas. And Terrio runs into that tag for out number 3. No runs a hit, nobody left. Bottom of the 10th is coming. In Houston, Texas, the Astros trying to beat the Redbirds. They'll have a pinch hitter, Bourgeois and Sanchez, 2 up. For the Astros, no errors tonight. We're going to the bottom of the 10th inning. These fans are not about to leave. With a wild card race like this coming to Minute Maid Park, and Brian Bogusevic will be pinch hitting for Mark Melanson here in the bottom of the 10th inning. Then Bourgeois and Sanchez due to follow. Melanson had 2 innings, allowed 2 hits, no runs. He had a walk. And, no, he didn't. He had no walks and no strikeouts. Bogusevic, 282, 4 homers, has driven in 15. And he has delivered some very important pinch hits, including a game-winning pinch grand slam against the Cubs. He is 9 for 32 pinch hitting with a homer and 5 runs batted in. Looking at ball 1. He slices this one inside the left field line. That's going to be in for a hit, and looks like a double for Bogusevic. Holiday over to play it. Pinch double for Bogusevic. That's a good start in the bottom of the 10th.
Dotel had a 1-2-3 ninth inning, finishing with the strikeout of Tolles, but it wasn't particularly sharp with his location. This time the fastball does get in on Bogusevic a little bit. Look at all the side spin it has, and hits and just checks immediately to the left. Lead off double, and Bourgeois will be looking to push him along.
Pujols moving in at first. Scalzo in tight at third. Bourgeois bunts. Dotel over. Oh, he drops it. Now everybody's safe. Sacrifice and an error on Dotel. First and third, nobody out.
Dotel trying to hurry to make a play at third base, a play that he would not have had. It's a good bunt. I don't think he had a realistic shot at Bogusevic there at third base. It's certainly a situation where you're doing everything you can to get that lead runner.
Now Tony La Russa's out. Sanchez will be the batter. Schaefer on deck. First and third, nobody out. Cardinal bullpen has 27 wins, 29 losses, a 3.79 ERA.
This Tony La Russa's 5,095th game he has managed. So he's seen every possible scenario, every situation, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times.
Sanchez ready to go. The infielders move in tight.
Outfielders in, outfielders in.
Nothing going on at first with Bourgeois, who has 31 steals in 37 tries. Bogusevic, the runner at third, runs well. Another look at that third to first move. Hotel is 2-0 lifetime against Houston.
This situation calls for a game-winning balk. Now he'll just be choking up, looking to punch the ball the other way.
Bunt, and here comes Bogusevic, and he will score the winning run. The Astros win it in the bottom of the 10th on a bunt by Angel Sanchez, scoring Brian Bogusevic. And they prevent the St. Louis Cardinals from moving into a tie for the wild card lead with Atlanta. What a finish in Houston as the Astros get another walk-off.
Try again. The Astros in that weekend series with the Rockies failed miserably many times with bunts, both in terms of getting them down but not getting runners in after the bunt and just making bad plays with the bunt. This is not a squeeze play. Bogusevic's not coming with the pitch. He waits till the ball is down before breaking for home. So there's a certain element of risk here, but Dotel never really does get to the ball in any kind of a shape to make a play on it, and then it becomes fairly easy for Bogusevic to score the winning run. Hotel. Interesting play with nobody out. Normally you see that in a one-out situation.
Hotel tried to shovel it right out of his glove. And the Astros get another final at-bat win. And we go to Greg Lucas on the field.
Well, this was the 9th walk-off win for the Astros this season. Angel Sanchez bunting home the runner from third. Tell us, was there a sign for it? Did you know it was coming? Both of you all on the same page? Tell us about it.
Yeah, we got on the same page. We know what's going on, and then I got it down.
All you got to do is get it down if you've got the runner coming hard, and he was.
Yeah, I did a good job, and the runner did a good job, and we got it.
This was a big win, actually, for the Astros because of what it did to the Cardinals. They had a chance to be tied for the wild card lead. You guys aren't going to win anything, but by golly, it shows that you're going right down to the wire anyway.
Yeah, that's right. When we keep working hard, and we finally got a win.
You got a good start of the game out of Wandy, and then a lot of guys out of the bullpen kept it close.
I know everybody did a good job, and the bullpen keep us in the game, and we got the win.
Nothing like being the guy with the walk-off winning play.
Yeah, a good feeling.
Okay, we're going to thank you for stopping by and giving the Astros a win. We're going to go to a break. Browning and JD will be back.